dung thieves in the first place. He put hard times on Dusty Rhodes and his family. Hard times are when the textile workers around this country are out of work and got 4 or 5 kids and can't pay their wages, can't buy their food. Hard times.
You know that I'm the cream of the crop.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Woo! I tore them all down.
And I came here for one reason. To attack and keep coming.
I did it for the rock.
You will rest in peace.
I asked you 1,000,000 times to join the NWO, where you would be born alive.
Shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty.
Bang, bang. And what you gonna do when Hulkamania run wild on you?
And that's the bottom line, cause Stone Cold said so.
Yeah! Fire! I won't ride in nothing but limousines, and I won't make love to nothing but the best looking women in the world.
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
You will know that your ass is mine.
Bang, bang.
The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. You got a championship belt? I don't.
That's right, I'm a Paul Heyman guy.
When Ric Flair's in town, showtime.
Woo! Sweet!
My belly's just a little big, my hand is just a little big, but brother, I am bad and they know I'm bad.
Beat me if you can survive, if I let you.
Orderly!
It is Rolex time.
Quote the Raven.
You just made the list!
Who's you beat, brother?
Did you dig that, sucker?
I am the game!
The whole show.
If I can be serious for a minute.
You son of a bitch! Brock Lesnar. Damn!
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. Oh, you didn't know?
I mean, you're the Donald Trump of wrestling. You make Steven Spielberg look like a guy running 8mm films in a garage someplace.
Will you stop?
You don't want to recognize my belt, huh? You don't recognize my belt. I think you're a liar. I think you're a flat out, straight up, lying, crying bitch.
What is going on, you filthy fuckers? It is the Dirt Sheet Dudes. It is Wednesday night. I am Boxman. How's everybody doing? Chat room. Hope you're doing well.
Freshly soured. No filthy. Freshly showered, bro.
Oh, well, yeah, some of us. Some of us are freshly showered.
Unless you're on a certain cruise, but yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. Anyway, I was talking to the chat room. Those filthy fuckers in there. Bastards. I mean that with love, of course. Anyway, what is going on, everybody? As I said, I am Boxman. And across from me is the Dastardly Duo. Or Dynamic Duo. What do you choose? Which one?
I'll go Dastardly, because nothing good ever comes from being dynamic in wrestling.
There you go. There you go. It is Anthony and it is Smark. Gentlemen, how are you doing?
What's going on, chat? Box and Smark. I'm not as clever as Smark with the intro, so that's all you're getting from me tonight, folks. Good night. Much love. Everything with love.
What you got, Smark? How you doing, man?
Woo! The dynamic dude of wrestling himself.
Since Anthony decided to be dastardly, I'll be dynamic. How's everybody doing? The Lou Reed of podcasting himself, and I am fucking pumped, Daddy-O.
Really?
No, but I'm just trying to fake it.
I thought it might have been the whole cruise ship thing got you all pumped, all frothy, all hyper. No.
Well, not necessarily the cruise ship, but Sunday night I did go to a house show, and I did get to see Bailey bend over right in front of my section, so I stared into the eye of God itself. I am a changed man.
Like looking into the eyes of Jesus, I saw it right there.
I was one section, I was like the very first section above the ringside, so I could see very well.
Nice.
Very detailed. It was nice HD vision.
Nice. That's a good spot to be right there, man.
It really was. It was great seats.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was a great seat, if you know what I mean.
A little sticky afterwards, but that's not my job to clean.
No.
Ugh.
Ew. Daddy, what's this on the seat?
Already taking a turn.
What's this on the seat, Daddy? Oh, sorry, that was a wrong show.
I saw Bad Boys, if that counts for anything.
It counts for something, not wrestling wise, but how was Bad Boys?
Oh, I enjoyed it.
All right.
What movie?
Was this like Bad Boys 12, 13?
Bad Boys for Life. It's the third.
Oh, only 3. Okay.
Possibly four.
I saw someone on Fox News called Martin Lawrence Eddie Murphy.
You boy.
Bastard.
Yeah.
Have y'all not figured out don't trust the goddamn media yet? Don't do it. Fucking stop.
Yeah. Just like, got them confused. Got Will Smith, Eddie Murphy, Martin. We don't all look alike, you know. We don't all look alike. Plus, you know, Martin's a few inches shorter. And at last check, I believe Eddie Murphy is actually taller.
I don't know. Maybe Martin should feel flattered that they thought he was that talented. I don't know, man. You know, you can look at it a few different ways. You know what I mean?
Fun fact, in my early teenage years, I did not watch a lot of movies, and I consistently confused Robert De Niro with Danny DeVito, and that made for some interesting situations.
Yeah, that would, yeah. I mean,
two vastly different roles and actors,
but very close in height.
No, Mark. No, I look at it like this. We can all agree Eddie Murphy dominated the 80s, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
In a different kind of way, I think Martin kind of held down in the 90s, at least up until the mid-90s. Because there was a point in time where Martin was fucking everywhere.
Yeah. He was doing the same kind of movies. He was doing the TV show. He was doing everything, man. He was just all over the place. He was doing the comedy shit. He was everywhere.
And Def Comedy Jam is fucking legendary.
Yup.
Fucking, he was
I
the
thought
host.
that was a bit of a criticism at a moment there, because I didn't. You said he was doing the same kind of movies. I was like, wow, it's a bit of a harsh criticism.
Did I say same kind of movies?
Well, you meant to say similar to Eddie Murphy, I would imagine, but it just made it sound like he did the same movies over and over again. I was like,
no. He was actually doing the stand-up comedy shows put out in movie theaters, which that was how I meant that. I'm sorry, I did not mean that as a slight to Martin Lawrence at all. I actually meant it as a compliment. That came out bad. Sorry.
I actually did kind of do similar to movies to Eddie Murphy, because he had Big Mama's House, and then he did Eddie Murphy did like the Clums and Nutty Professor, so a lot of fat suits for everybody.
Yeah, the only time he played a cop, though, he was a criminal being a cop. No, in Bad Boys, he's a fucking cop. What am I thinking? He did do movies just like him. You know what? I said what I said. All right.
That's a debate for another show.
Exactly.
Bad Boys and Beverly Hills Cop.
Exactly. So, all right. Let's go ahead and knock out these plugs real quick. I'm going to knock them out real fast, hopefully, here. All right, here we go. Once again, start out with the Wrestling Overdose, Wrestling OD. Don't forget to check out Shaheen over there and check out his Patreon. Patreon.com/Wrestling Overdose. And you can check out his shows on Apple, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, you know where. But also go check out Shaheen's art, nuclearheatshop.com. Don't forget to do that. Check out the Wrestling's High Marks, Cheeseman, Mojo, G-Wiz. Always check out the Inhuman Experience with Bobby Anthem and Bobby Blades. Those guys are putting out bonus shows left and right. You've got to subscribe to the Inhuman Experience. I promise you, you will be happy. You motherfucking did. And don't forget to check out Eric, Doug, and Daniel. They're on the Unscripted Wrestling Show, and the only place you're going to find that is the Philly Sports Passion. So, you want to subscribe to Philly Sports Passion so you can get Unscripted Wrestling, and there you go. And, of course, a shout-out to Stephen Milan, the man who shares the show all the time. We appreciate it. He's on letterboxd.com/Stephen Milan, 2 L's. And he's just reviewing films over there like a mad, mad reviewing man. And, of course, you guys know where to check us out. You can follow us on Spreaker. You can get us on Facebook, right there at Dirt Sheet Dudes page. And you can follow us on Twitter, Dirt Sheet Dudes. And, of course, right here, you can join the chat room, mixler.com/Dirt Sheet Dudes.
Awesome.
There you go. Anthony, roll them out. Finish it up.
Yes, Nightwave Radio. You can find him on YouTube. Support that dude. Very good dude. And also, Jason Clark, Bottom Line Pro Wrestling Podcast. Available on all the podcast platforms that Box just laid out. Google Play, Stitcher. Subscribe, and you will be notified and exposed to awesomeness in podcasts just like this one.
All right. There we go. Got that
Let's
bitch
go.
knocked out. All right. There we go. Don't have to do that again till later. All right. So, guys, I figured we would start with, I guess, Raw. Since Anthony's catching up on AEW. He's not, he watched it. But let's go ahead and we'll start with Raw. Try to get through Raw as quick as possible. I've got the results pulled up. I don't feel like going match for match. So,
now, the burning question, Box. Everybody wants to know. What version of Raw did Boxman watch this week? Did he watch the unedited Raw, no pun intended version?
Yep.
Or the Hulu?
Regular. I watched the
Regular?
DVR. The DVR.
What about you, Smart?
I watched the Coliseum Video Silver Edition.
So you watch live?
That's right.
Right. Yeah. Got it. Yeah, you watched live. I did not watch live. I did watch on Tuesday, but I did watch the DVR version. Didn't fast forward through as much as I thought I would. Wasn't that bad of a show, actually. There were some, there were some pretty bad things, and we'll play one or two. We'll depending on how far we get through, may play a clip or two. Let's put it that way. Maybe not.
But on the whole, you gentlemen, over the past few weeks, outside of the Lashley line of Rusev that's pretty much dominated, would you say that Raw's been a pretty tolerable show for the most part? If you take out that actual storyline,
Yeah,
I was thinking about this while I was watching Raw this week. I said, you know what? You take out the silliness of that angle, Raw hasn't really been that bad over the past couple months. You could say some shows have been better than others, but it hasn't been like eye rolling.
No, I think SmackDown's getting a little eye rolling at this point now. But you're right. Raw has been pretty good, minus a few segments here and there. Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. Smart.
Yeah, usually every week it's good for like 2, sometimes 3 good matches, maybe a good promo, and then get some stuff. There's some job matches here and there, but you could just as easily fast forward through them or have them omitted if you watch the Hulu version. So it's definitely watchable.
Yeah, I guess that's as good as we got to say about it. I guess the first thing that caught my eye once the show started was Seth Rollins coming down in a shirt that depicts him as Jesus.
But like cartoon, like almost like Buddy Jesus from like Jay and Silent Bob.
Right, exactly. So that caught my eye, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, he's really rolling with the Jesus Christ thing. He's rolling with it. He is now really CrossFit Jesus.
How long before it gets pulled?
It might not, because they're not saying
I don't think it will.
I don't think it will, because it says Messiah of Monday Night on the bottom. I think it'll be okay. If it said that, Monday Night Jesus, might have a problem.
Buy that.
There might be a problem. But I think the Messiah of Monday Night might be all right. I think they'll be okay. I think they'll be okay with that one. I don't know, but that was the first thing that caught my eye. And that actually was not a bad promo by Seth. I got to be honest. I wasn't, like Anthony said, eye-rolling. I wasn't annoyed. It wasn't, holy crap. He was calm. He spoke like a man.
Man.
You could almost say the promo was cerebral.
Yes, I've been working with them. You mean that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So what did you guys think of that little promo and the whole little Owens, Joe, Viking Raiders confronting Seth Rollins, AOP, and Buddy Murphy still there?
It was actually pretty decent. You know, it's refreshing to see heels allowed to be heels and actually get some heat.
Yeah.
So that when they eventually get their comeuppance, it'll mean more. Because like I said, a heel with no balls gets nobody over, but a heel with heat, that's a winner. Everybody wins at that point. Just my 2 cents.
I like it. Smart.
Yeah, the last couple of weeks I've been saying that it was just like kind of all right. Like I wasn't super into it, but I think it was better than what he's been doing the last couple weeks, months, what have you. I really liked it this week. I think he's really starting to grow into that role, and I like the fact that he actually has a defined character, and he's not just a heel who does the same stuff and says the same stuff, but just two good guys and some bad guys.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're still talking, but you're breaking up a little bit. Oh,
Smark is corresponding. He's corresponding from the Jericho cruise.
Yeah, Smart. I'm waving him off. Smart, you're breaking up. You good?
No miles.
Is he still talking? I'm not quite sure. Smart, you there, buddy?
Don't you wish? No, he's actually singing the Jericho little song, little ditty.
He's trying to go through customs there is what he's doing. Anyway, we'll proceed. Smart's trying to do something. I don't know if he's moving or walking or, I don't know, going to the outhouse. Who knows? He's in Tennessee, I guess. But anyway, I guess we all agree that was a decent promo by Seth Rollins. After that, we had that ladder match. We will definitely want to talk much better. Thank you, Smart. Definitely want to. You want to repeat anything, or was it not that important?
Great.
All right, perfect. I guess it wasn't that important. Oh, there he is now.
Hard to get the connection going, so I'm going to work on that for a second if you guys want to go ahead.
Okay, no problem. Appreciate that. Yeah, we had this ladder match with Andrade and Mysterio, and I got to tell you what, if they came out and this match lasted 25 seconds, just seeing Zelina Vega in that outfit, I would have been happy. I got to tell you. That's all I needed. That, you know what? If that was just Raw, like if they brought her out for like 25 minutes, and I'd be happy. Okay, Raw is over. I'm done. God, she looked good. But I mean, the match was great and all, but Jesus, that woman in that outfit. Allison.
So you like the Latinas, the Mamacitas, huh?
Had me a Colombian one for a while. She was crazy and did coke.
Right there with you.
She was crazy and did coke. It was amazing. I was like, you have to be the stereotypical Colombian. I mean, come on.
Oh, Smart. Before we move on too far along, did you want to wrap up your point or finish anything?
No, I was just going to say overall, the whole Seth Rollins thing, I really liked it. I like the fact that he actually has a good character. He's not just a bad guy who says and does the same exact stuff he would have normally done, but to good people or good guys instead of bad guys. That was my whole point. I don't know at what point I dropped off, but this connection's been shaky, so I'm going to try to power through it.
Well, yeah, y'all had some... by the way, was that earthquake anywhere near you?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay.
We tend not to get... Just the way that we're positioned, the mountains and everything, we tend not to get that kind of a thing around here.
All right. Good.
And before we move on, I will go ahead and join you right on in and echo your sentiments on the whole crazy Latina thing. Yes. It's a dangerous game, but it's a fun game.
You know, it's definitely a gamble, but it's one worth taking pretty much every time. That's all I'm going to say.
great sex, or you yelling at pigeons in a park somewhere.
Yeah.
But, you know, life's all about taking risks.
Yeah, I mean, if Aleister Black just doesn't show up for a few shows, you know what happened. That's all I'm going to say.
Speaking of, I wonder if they did this on purpose because, and I know we'll get to it later, but they had the Aleister Black match right after they did the Martin Luther King video package.
You're right. I didn't even click with that, but you're right. They did. Anyway, let's get to this ladder match real quick before we do this. But yeah, this ladder match, great match between the two, brutal match, fucking hard hitting, laying their shit in. Andrade 100% is definitely going to be a fucking star, man. He is their next. I don't want to say he's their next Rey Mysterio, but he is definitely going to be a huge star for this company. Absolutely, no doubt in my mind. I don't know what you guys think, but this match just blew my fucking mind.
So you think there's potential there for him to be that Latin star that they've been desperately trying to recreate since Eddie passed, since Ray's kind of been in and out. They haven't really had that go-to Latino star that everybody just loves and gravitates towards. That's a lot of pressure you put on him there, Bob. A talented guy, but do you think he has that star appeal to bring in the Latin audience? Because remember back in the day, that's the whole reason they had Ray and Eddie on SmackDown.
Yeah, I mean, I think so, but I mean, it's just me. I'm just a guy with a microphone and someone across from me making noise. That's all.
Not me for once. Yes, it only took 3 years.
I don't think I'm putting that much pressure on the guy, to be honest with you.
No. Seriously, no. All jokes aside, man, this was a fantastic match. A little botchy in some spots. Ray definitely showed his age at different points, but overall, I really enjoyed this match. And Andrade, like I said, he has something. Only thing, honestly, that's going to hold him back is the language barrier. Hopefully, they don't hold that against him. They keep him and Zelina together for as long as humanly possible. Yeah, because I feel like that's the money. As much as I like Andrade, I feel like as a package, that's where you have like your star potential right there as a package.
Or maybe
at least for the foreseeable future. I wouldn't break them up no time soon.
Maybe they're going to break them up, and Ray is going to end up liking him and being the voice for him. Oh, that's a bad idea. Why did I say that?
No, we will not put that type of negativity in the air.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let's just rewind that. That was never said. Anyway, Smart, what you got? Smart is not here. His connection must have taken off. Sorry about that, guys. Didn't know that. All right. I guess we'll keep going here. After that, we did get the MLK video, which was a very good video, I thought.
As it is every year. I mean, they do this thing every year, and obviously, Vince McMahon has made it known to the world that MLK, he considers him a personal inspiration because he's been putting MLK over going back years.
Oh yeah,
like years, like every January. I remember as a kid seeing this damn Martin Luther King video every January on Raw.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I don't know. It was, like I said, they do it every year, but always a good video. We don't really need to get into it. It was MLK Day. It was pretty awesome. You had the day off. I fucking didn't. Anyway.
Hey, dude, 400 years, Bob. So I was due. I was due something.
I know.
No, but MLK, he seemed to be the most over person in the building at one point. Got a nice little MLK chant going following that video.
And then someone started chanting USA, and people were like, "Why? We know where we are. What are you doing?"
We all on the same team, bro. You fucked up a good thing.
Yeah, we know. Calm down. And it didn't go over far. Then after that, my next note here is must be when Ricochet came out and confronted Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman down there. Anthony, I got a real, and I'm not trying to be fucking, I'm not trying to be facetious, not sarcastic. Why do they keep letting Ricochet cut these promos? And why, in God's name, would you put him down there with someone like Paul Heyman, who is for lack of a better term, pretty much a god of cutting fucking promos.
Yeah, and Paul Heyman was very gracious because I can't remember. It was a little while. What was it during the Reigns feud? It was somebody. It was Brock and Heyman in the ring, and they fucked up their line, and fucking Heyman just he cut up with it. Reigns. It was somebody. He just cut him down.
I think it was Reigns. It might have been Reigns. And talks
somebody forgot their line, and and Heyman would not let that shit go.
No, he won't. Shit, I remember when fucking The Rock and Cena wouldn't let it go when The Rock did it. When they wrote the shit on his arm. We do have Smark back, ladies and gentlemen. Smark, you're back, right? You're back.
I think so. I can't guarantee anything at this point.
All right, you're good, man. You're good.
Telling you what, these lessons on podcasting I've been taking at the community college haven't been paying off. I might have to ask for my money back.
Yeah, I mean, at least it's not like the night where Mixler cut out on me 9 times. You know, you guys can pretty much cut in and out. No one would know, and it's just because you guys don't have the Mixler. So
that's right.
Yeah, you guys should get Mixler, so I don't have to do this fucking all the time. Shit. All right. But, Smark, we were talking a little bit about the Ricochet thing where Ricochet was down there cutting a promo with Brock Lesnar, and I put a question to Anthony, and now that you're back, I'll also put it to you. Anthony hasn't answered yet, but just why do they keep letting Ricochet go down there with the mic, and why would they put him out there with a person like Paul Heyman who's known for his promo ability? And even, I'm not saying Brock Lesnar can cut a good promo, but when Brock Lesnar does chime in, it's usually very witty and funny or ridiculous. One of the two. Either way, it goes viral.
Yeah, because Brock is like a big dude, and it's always funny when a big muscled up dude says something kind of like off kilter that you wouldn't expect. And plus, Brock has never really been, his strong suit has never been promos, but Brock knows Brock.
Right.
And like when you're comfortable in your own skin, comfortable with your character presentation, things come across better. So you don't necessarily have to be a guru of promos. With Ricochet, he just comes across, for lack of a better term, awkward. Like sometimes he's trying to be like, I don't know, he's trying to be cool, he's trying to be witty, and it's just like, no. It's kind of like you hear all these stories about certain people behind the scenes being like funny as hell, and you would never know it. Like Dean Malenko, and he has this great personality. If only we could transfer that on camera. It don't work. I don't know, man. Maybe, I don't know. You think behind the scenes Ricochet is one of those guys? He's hilarious. He has this great personality, but for whatever reason, just can't turn it on for the camera because, man, I don't know what it is. I guess they're like trying to put him out there hoping something rubs off, but this is like, we're 6 months into this guy on television trying to cut promos, and he has not cut a one good one.
Yeah, and I mean, I know I always say let them out there to sink or swim, but listen, if they're sinking, you got to fucking pull them off that ship. You know what I mean?
How many ship and cruise buzz are we going to have on the show tonight?
Oh shit! I didn't put that together. I'm sorry. Sorry, MJF. I didn't say pool at least. Anyway, Smark, what you got on that real quick?
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like, you know, back in the day, there used to be, when they were debating on whether or not they wanted to sign guys, they would, like, put them in the ring with Bret Hart on, like, a dark match and just see what they had. Because they figured he was the absolute best, so we could see if he couldn't get anything out of him, you couldn't get anything out of him, period. I don't know, maybe that's what they were thinking with Heyman, because he's such a good talker that they figured maybe that he'd be able to pull something out of him, or they'd be able to kind of gauge his aptitude. And yeah, it's just not working. Like, I don't know. It's hard to say. He's never really had it on the microphone. Like, I watched him in Lucha Underground. I watched him on the Indies. It's never really gotten better in any sort of tangible way. So he's just been very stunted. I don't know what the problem is, but it's just not coming off very good. And unfortunately, I'm worried about him because I feel like if it doesn't pick up soon, like, he's going to be on 205 Live quick, I think.
I don't know. Maybe they'll just keep throwing him out there. Antox is saying they're just going to keep throwing him out there to let him drown on his own. The problem is he goes in the ring and you forget about that horrible promo because he's very impressive in the ring. It's just my opinion, but that's what I think.
No,
But the thing about that though is like, what about him is marketable though? Like, okay, he has the good matches, but he doesn't have like a catchphrase. He doesn't have a mask or anything. There's nothing that they can sell or merchandise off of him. So it's like, at some point, outside of just being a really good wrestler, like, what does he have that could benefit them?
He's a real life superhero, bro.
That's true.
You forgot about that.
He will strike you down with the finger of justice.
Oh shit, that sounds painful.
It sure does.
No, I think the dice have already been cast on this guy's career from the standpoint of he's just going to be a good little worker for them, a guy that they can throw out there if they need to fill time, if they need somebody to have 10 good minutes with somebody. Hey, put Ricochet in there with him. He'll give us 10 good minutes. It kind of goes back to like what Raven said a long time ago. When it comes to Vince McMahon, if you can't capture his imagination with something about you, you're almost instantaneously sunk.
Right.
Like if your most redeeming quality is I'm a good wrestler, well, look at WWE's roster right now. They got top to bottom. They have a roster full of capable wrestlers. What about you? Separate yourself. What separates you from everybody else? What separates Ricochet from Roderick Strong in terms of good wrestling ability? You know what I mean? Not much.
About 6 inches.
I like Ricochet. You said what separates him. That's what I think it is. I actually like Ricochet. I really could.
But you know what I mean? They fall into that same category. You know, guys that can get in there and have a competent match.
I get it. I get where you're going. I get it. He'll go out there. He'll give the. He'll make the other guy look good. Plus, he'll get the crowd popping with his flippity dippity doos. And I mean, he's a definite crowd pleaser. You know.
No, except when he picks. You notice when Ricochet's in the ring doing this thing, the crowd goes crazy because how can you not go crazy for a guy that's as impressive as Ricochet is? But the minute he picks up a microphone, I feel like he loses the crowd, especially live. Just pay attention. Just pay attention to how quiet it gets whenever he's cutting a promo, especially live in the ring. Mm-hmm. The man dies a death because he's not saying anything particularly clever. It's just like on top of everything he's saying is scripted to death. So, right. But Jesus, I would hate to see what he would sound like without a script. Could you imagine sending him out there with a live mic? Okay, Ricochet, fill 3 minutes.
Yeah. So basically, you're saying. Awful. Yeah. So basically, he goes out there, he has a match, he picks up the mic, and it's like. Yeah. And then you're here. That better.
It didn't help how he came to the ring. He's cutting his promo. Now, I'm not scared of you, Brock. I'm going to give you all of this fight and all of... He gets in the ring, gets his ass kicked, and Brock, do you have it pulled up?
Nuh-uh.
Oh, we got to play that clip.
It was just glorious. He asked him if he was scared. Brock turns around, kicks him right in the dick, grabs the microphone, says, "Not scared," walks off.
I mean, not quite as funny as last week's "That's What's Up." But
that's good stuff, man.
I'll put it in the top 5. I mean, because we all sit back and say Brock is not a good talker. Brock has some zingers when he wants to, man. Mm-hmm. Brock has some good little one-liners when he wants to.
He does. He can. That's what I meant. When Brock does say something, it's either ridiculously hilarious or ridiculous itself. One way or another, it's going viral. Yeah.
Say something stupid, Paul. That's one of my favorites, too, that people forget about.
Well, he meant stupid like stupid good. Oh, shut up, people. Okay. Oh, jeez. I guess we can move on from that. We've already torn Ricochet down enough, I think. He's humbled his ass. Well, I mean, he did that himself. No. But I don't even know where I'm going at this point. Let's go right to the next thing that happened, which was Drew and Randy were out there having a match. And I got to tell you, for a Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton match, I was liking this match. Both those guys were showing some fucking personality in the ring. Both of them.
Yeah.
They were having fun with each other, and it was fun to see them having fun with each other. How's that?
Hell yeah. And I'm going to get this out the way before we get to predictions a little later.
Mm-hmm.
But I really think that maybe they got to strike while the iron's hot. I really think McIntyre needs to win the Rumble on Sunday. I feel like, sometimes, like I said, you got to go with your hot hand. I'm not saying that he's like hot right now, but he's been building up momentum. People are starting to get with him. I feel like, why not test the waters? It's a plus. It'll give us something different at WrestleMania. Brock and McIntyre.
Yeah. What'd you think of that match, Smark?
Yeah, after what happened in that match, I don't think that's happening at all. Not that I think it shouldn't, but yeah, it was a fun match. That there was a spot where he ended up going for the Claymore on the outside. Randy Orton moved, and he just blasted the shit out of the timekeeper.
Yeah,
that guy sold that shit like it was death. Good on him. I thought it was interesting. It looked like they were and especially towards the end there, because they joined forces after the match, and it looked like it was starting to kind of solidify McIntyre as actually being a full-on face now. And then, immediately after they cleared the ring, he just got RKO'd, and he looked like a fucking idiot. But then, at the very least, they gave him an opportunity to cut a promo where he acknowledged that what he did was foolish. But I was kind of confused. I didn't know that the emphasis of that move was supposed to be on your throat, because he cut the promo and he was holding his throat and he was breathing hard, like somebody just punched him in the windpipe or whatever. So that was interesting.
I caught that, but I didn't catch that. You're right, he was.
I'm just happy to see the legacy of the Diamond Cutter living on through young Randy Orton. Or semi-young Randy Orton, because fucking Diamond Cutter in the 90s, I feel like that was the hottest finish in wrestling.
Yes, that young whippersnapper, Randy Orton.
He's like a young Eddie Guerrero.
That newcomer. That young upstart, Randy Orton.
Yeah, just like Jay Lethal was Forever 21, so too was Randy Orton.
Yes.
He is wild and young.
All right, please. The OC did attack those guys at the end of the match there, Randy and Drew. And yeah, I agree that promo at the end by Drew, I thought that was pretty awkward, because he was actually selling too much. He was overselling. He was overselling the throat. I agree with you, Smart. I do. I agree.
And then halfway through, he just gave up. Because he was like, that was my fault. But this Sunday, I'm going to win the Royal Rumble because I'm a badass.
And then he said, give me a bloody microphone that works. And all the announcers were about to say, that one fucking worked fine. And they both shut their mouths like Vince went, don't do it.
You know what it is?
It's not our fault.
I could just hear Vince.
No. It was like they wanted to manufacture a badass moment. Give me no. Either that or Vince just wanted a reason to get fucking on the air.
I don't know, but I'm telling you right now, he definitely... No, he said bloody. A bloody mic that works.
But isn't that the English translation?
Pretty much. I like the idea of somebody blaming the microphone for cutting a bad promo.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the microphone's fault that you didn't hear how great this promo was. No, we heard every word.
Yeah, no, it was working fine. It was you. It's called user error, douchebag.
Now let me ask you, Buck, I wasn't watching a whole lot during that time period, but when McIntyre was in TNA and he was pretty much their top guy, was he cutting a lot of good promos, in your opinion, since you probably would have been watching more than I was back then? Or not really?
You're asking Smart, right? I didn't really see him on TNA. I was done watching by then.
Oh. Oops.
I resumed towards the end. I really didn't get to hear a lot of his promos. He was always really more known as somebody who had good matches. Not so much the promos, though.
Right, yeah. I mean, look, I'm not saying he cuts... His regular promos are fine. This promo was just fucking awful. I'm sorry. It was weird. It was off... It was a bad time. It was a bad time for the promo. But those two are going to end up tag teaming very soon, very soon. I'd written in the fucking stars as far as I'm concerned. After that, I remember there was a regular cookie cutter. Hey, look, it's Monday night. Becky, go cut the same promo you cut last week, the week before, 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 the week before that, and the week before that, the week before that, the week before that. Okay, so that's pretty much what we had, and then we had a little match with her and Kairi Sane.
Wow. Let's tie in a little bit of news since we're talking about Kairi Sane. What did you guys hear Charlotte's little comment regarding what happened at the pay-per-view? How she got caught up in the moment.
Oh.
Yeah, what did you guys think of that? Because man, I feel like Charlotte would have been better off going like no comment, because that came off all fucking wrong. Like that's something that needed that classic WWE spin, because man, that was not a good look for old Charlotte.
That probably was the WWE spin. What I mean, look, I'd be better off if she just said, "Nah, it is what it is," and walked
things
off.
happen. Obviously, I didn't mean for her to get hurt, but your adrenaline's pumping, and things happen. But obviously, I'm remorseful, but things happen. I would have been satisfied with something like that.
Oh, I mean,
she should kind of wrote this shit off like, yeah, I got caught up in the moment, and
I mean, either way, it's a cop out either way. But I mean, what was she supposed to do? Go out there and went, the bitch missed a move. I had to slap the shit out of her. I don't know.
Heat of the moment, giving my opponent a concussion. Heat of the moment.
You can see it in her eyes. Oh, okay.
Exactly. Yes. I don't think they really sell Hallmark cards that say, "I'm sorry, I gave my coworker a concussion."
No, but that's a great idea. Hey, didn't mean to fuck you up. Didn't mean to fuck you up.
Not bad, bro.
Good luck in your future endeavors. Signed, all of the WWE superstars.
The CTE is all on me.
Oh, there you go. Oh, shit. Anyway, I really got nothing around this match, dude. I'm just starting to tune out of Becky. I'm not saying she's awful. I'm not saying I hate her, but she's becoming, okay, I've seen this. Sorry. What do you got? If you guys have anything on that match, go for it. Otherwise, we'll move on to the Seth Rollins shit.
No, it was what it was. Becky's obviously going to be booked extra super strong going into WrestleMania season, so served its purpose, but nothing overly spectacular.
Oh, I do have one thing. I do like how lately, if you didn't catch this, I have now 3 times, Asuka has snuck in the words "easy peasy" in her promos.
That's right. Yeah, I mentioned this last week.
Yes,
and
you
she
did.
Was back at it again.
And she did it again this week, and I think we both missed it the week before because someone said something to me. So, yeah, I believe it's 3 in a row now. We get easy peasy from Asuka, great shit. Go ahead.
Don't know what that's about, because I wish I could, there were subtitles, or I wish I understood what she said leading up to that, because I would like to know, how you ease into the phrase easy peasy. Because, she has a YouTube channel. I've watched a couple of her videos, and she loves saying that phrase for some reason. So there's that. But I wonder, at what point, how would you set it up in a promo that you could just fit in the phrase easy peasy in there?
I wonder if it's one of those weird wrestling things where it's not meant for the audience, but people behind the scenes. Just kind of it's like a little inside joke thing, because, it is funny. But I get the sense that she's doing that for the benefit of herself and her coworkers. For the people that get it, no explanation is required type of thing.
Yeah, it's probably for her YouTube subscribers. Since she has those, and doesn't she play video games on that channel?
It's a little bit of everything. She plays video games. She goes out and tries different foods and travel videos, shit like that. Just kind of your basic random YouTube channel.
Yeah, she might be giving a little shout out to the YouTube subscribers with that one. Who knows? If she is, great. Otherwise, I don't care. That's the one thing I've been liking, and I still like the fact that they're not cutting promos in English. I fucking love it. I love it. I think it's great they finally gave up.
I have a theory that whoever is teaching them English is like ribbing them and like teaching them colloquialisms that aren't very commonly used and pretending like they are all the time. And like we'll know whether or not this theory is correct if we hear like Andrade say like "gee willikers" during a promo at some point.
So it's like Robin Williams in Good Morning Vietnam, just teaching them how to say like shit and fuck and stuff like that.
In a sense.
Okay, all right. Maybe I just wanted to mention that movie. All right, so we're good on this whole thing.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
good,
of course.
Good. All right.
Excuse me. Sorry.
So we had this Rollins Buddy Murphy against the Viking Raiders, and already we have the Buddy Murphy and Seth Rollins tag champs. That quick? That already?
Yeah. I mean, do you think that they kind of like pulled the trigger on this too fast? Because Rollins, I mean, I get they're trying to make something out of Murphy, but the thing of it is, I feel like it's almost like a token deal, because once this Rollins and AOP thing runs its course, Buddy Murphy's gonna go back in the closet, back to catering, back to being whatever brand he's on, best kept secret. So do you feel like this was almost like a waste, that they should have kind of put AOP in this spot as opposed to reducing them to they're heavies now, they're glorified bodyguards, as opposed to being like the focal point of the tag division? So once again, the tag division is taking back seat. Actual tag teams have to take a back seat to these makeshift teams that aren't really going to be together long term. Because Rollins and Buddy Murphy isn't going to be a thing for long.
Actually, I think that might last longer than you think. Buddy Murphy actually looks right in this part. I think this might last a little longer than you think it will. I actually think AOP might actually turn on those two before Buddy Murphy turns on anybody. Just my opinion. But I don't know. I did enjoy the match. And I do think that they pulled the trigger a little too quick. I'm kind of shocked. That's kind of why I mentioned it. I was like, already? Give them any sort of one match to win, and then maybe they go for I don't know. Maybe I'm being stupid about it. Maybe I'm being old man about it, old school about it. But yeah, I think they pulled it a little too quick. I do.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, not to be that guy, but it kind of like, Box, you're a big tag team guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Big fan of tag team wrestling. It kind of diminishes what it means to be a tag team, like a true, authentic tag team. Like if you're like a career tag guy, like a Rock and Roll Express back in the day, or Heart Foundation was for a period of time, these were actual teams that built up a chemistry. And when you kind of pull two guys that have never teamed together, no type of chemistry, they just are working together for the first time, and they win the tag team titles on their very first shot, it kind of diminishes what it means, in my opinion, what it means to be a true tag team. Because it just shows that you can throw any two guys together at any given time, and they can beat an established tag team that's been together for years and years and years.
Yeah, but I mean, let's be honest, dude. When was the last time these tag titles were honestly taken like really seriously?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's just me kind of like, I guess, showing my age a little bit, and like, the things that I used to appreciate about wrestling that they clearly don't give a fuck about anymore.
I mean, there's obviously a lot they don't give a fuck about anymore, but I mean, I got to tell you something, dude. I'm done with this whole, they're fucking up the titles again. The title's been fucked up for a very long time. All of them. Every single one of them. They'll hotshot a title anytime, anywhere, any day, for any reason they see profitable. I don't blame them. It's a business. They got to make their money. I don't like it, but I don't blame them. So, I get it. But I'm done sitting there like, man, I can't believe they're ruining that title. Yeah, well, it's what they do now. It's their MO, if you will. So, what are you going to do? I mean, they don't care about the titles, which means a lot of us don't care about the titles anymore. I mean, I like the tag teams. I like the tag team, division. I think they should build it more, but there's another thing. Every time they build it, eventually it just goes away. And then they try to build it again, and then it goes away. They try to build it again. You see the pattern? It's like a fucking Becky Lynch promo.
Yeah, that's why I feel like if they know what's good for them, they'll leave. Because if you're like I don't know, like a revival type, and you know your ceiling is tag team, because they're not pushing either one of those guys as singles. And plus, not for nothing, I feel like the tag team division is their niche. So if that's your niche, you need for that division to be focused on. You need that division to be as strong as possible, because that's honestly where you're going to make your money. And like if the tag team match is just another match on a card that means nothing, that diminishes your money.
Dash Wilder's the one that hit the dude that jumped Brett, right?
Yeah, and he became a national hero that day.
See, that's what they should do for a gimmick for him. Every week a fan should jump and he should fucking just deck him. Just beat him down. Every week, that should be his gimmick. He takes out a fucking fan that jumps in. That is how you could push that guy in a singles role.
Now, let me ask you something about that, because I want to get Smark's thoughts on this whole tag thing. But in that moment, take your hatred out of Bret Hart. Take your hatred for Bret Hart out of it for a second. Or your dislike, because hatred is a strong word, especially over wrestling. I'll say dislike. In that moment, did you gain a little bit of respect? Or did you think he was a little cowardly, taking a cheap shot at a guy that was already physically restrained? Because I remember when that happened, a lot of people were like very divisive. A lot of people were like, yeah, but then you had like a small contingent, like he didn't have to hit he was already restrained. What the fuck was the purpose? Cheap shotting the guy. But for the record, I was on the guy deserved it. Say what you want about Brett. He deserved what he got that night, running up in the ring like that. He deserved that ass whooping he got. I'm sorry.
Cross the line, brother. Cross that fucking line. I think he got what he deserved. I'm down with it. I don't see any reason he should wanted to hit the guy. I don't think he even. Sometimes you get like that, you don't even look down and see that the guy's restrained. You just look down, see his face, and go, "I gotta hit him," and you hit him.
You think he still get? You think their booking is still kind of like going back to that?
I don't know.
It feels like coming out of that little cheap shot that he took. That's when that career kind of started to take a nosedive.
No, I was expecting Smart to start singing "Heat of the Moment" again, but
Heat of the Moment, yeah.
That might be the name of this show.
Thank you for not disappointing.
What's your price for flights? Different song, I know, and I don't care.
It's a good song. It's a good song. I like it.
But Smart, this match, tag teams, what you got?
Tag teams, yes. Actually, kind of, if I can offer a little bit of a different opinion, I actually kind of like the idea because it sets up the potential if they choose to do it, and I hope that they do. You could be looking at like a Freebird rule situation where you have AOP defending it 1 week, you have Seth and Buddy defending it 1 week, maybe a combination of the four. That offers some freedom there. And if, depending on how long Brock's going to hold that title for, I kind of like the idea of the tag team titles being used as sort of a upper mid-card situation where they have like kind of maybe not so established teams, but you guys are talking, like Box had mentioned before that it seems like Orton and McIntyre are going to team up at some point. That could be potentially a pretty good feud, having them team up and, feud against Rollins and Murphy, or, creating certain other groups of tag teams. You could have like Ray and Umberto, just so on and so forth. But I actually like the idea to potentially set that up as like its own little division. The only thing I don't maybe necessarily like is like now that you had them do it, you make it, you start off the stable with a big bang, but now what else can they do? Like it's kind of the apex or the zenith right now, and then it's like, well, what else is there for them to accomplish? Because I don't think, world titles held by a heel, U.S. titles held by a heel, like there's no other titles for them to win at the moment, so they kind of already shot their load.
Another MO of WWE. Another MO of WWE right there.
It'll be quite the fall, downgrade.
Yeah.
For Seth Rollins, past couple years, been feuding with Brock, been in high profile matches, Triple H and Brock Lesnar, and now he's kind of like going to be in the tag division.
Yeah,
because I can't see them putting him in a main event position again. Yeah. At least not this year.
Anthony, I can hear that. There you go. All right. You're gonna get kicked off fucking YouTube, man.
Yeah.
No, you won't. I'm just joking.
I know you are.
No, we're not. We're not monetizing. Doesn't matter. But anyway, I think we've played enough on that. We got a couple more things, and then we're done with this show. Guys, I really don't. I was gonna play it, but we've spent too much time on Raw already, so I'm not going to. This weekend update, this Monday after the weekend update. Forced, bad. A couple of look. I'm not going to say there were no funny lines. There's a couple of funny lines, but it's forced. It's scripted. It's obviously they're reading off of fucking cue cards or teleprompters probably. And I know that's what real news people do. I get it, but no connection. I got no connection. It's not connecting with me. And they're no Dennis Miller. I'll put it that way. And I get it. And I get it. They're making fun of those other two guys. But and by the way, that was a joke. Dennis Miller wasn't that great either.
You got to pop out of me, brother.
It was a joke. I really wasn't being serious. I mean, I like the guy.
Look, Dennis Miller wasn't even Dennis Miller by the end.
No, he's still he's got a radio show now.
Oh, he does?
Actually, some of the best unintentional comedy gold was the season ESPN tried to make him a football commentator.
Oh.
Because he would try to slip in a joke.
Yeah.
And it was a combination of it being not the right time and not the right audience. And it just, every fucking joke went over like a lead balloon. And that alone made it funny.
Yeah, his comparisons and analogies are pretty out there, and if it's not his audience, they're just like, what?
Yeah, I just remember, because he was on WWE when they was doing a guest host, and it was very awkward. I mean, he had some gems on there, some lines, but it's a wrestling crowd, and majority of shit was going over their heads, so it was just like,
yeah. I really just find when I watch these, I actually feel bad for the Street Profits because they're two guys who are naturally charismatic. Both of them have their own. I mean, obviously Montez Ford has a lot more charisma, but Dawkins has. It is Dawkins, right? Dawkins has. He's got his own little style of charisma. He's got that I'm still a cool guy trying to get laid, big dude kind of charisma, which is cool. They're both got their own different style of charisma. But when they do these fucking things, it just seems like WWE is shoehorning every joke. The laugh track makes it even worse because now it's a forced laugh. So I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm not going to sit here and bitch anymore. I just do not like it. To me, it needs to stop. Done.
Yeah. And I'm sorry. Go ahead, Smart.
I was going to say, I feel like it speaks volumes that like not even R-Truth could say that. Like he tried his best, but it was just no.
Yeah, exactly. I forgot R-Truth was in that segment. You're right. R-Truth was in that segment.
Yeah, and that was the crime of it too, because going back to you guys' point about, or Box's point about, these guys being naturally charismatic, they're taking. I hope we don't get to the point with R-Truth where they ruin his comedy for me, because part of the charm in R-Truth is that it's very much genuine. He's a naturally funny and entertaining guy. But I hope they don't fall into the trap, look who I'm talking about, of forcing his comedy. Like remember, like the whole, it was a promo on Raw way back. He was doing his rap, the whole "What's up," and he yelled out the name of the wrong city.
Yeah,
and that's basically how he fell into the gimmick of "my bad," and they made him an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
But he put his own spin on it, and it became endearing. It became like a charming part of his character. This was dog shit because they tried to force the comedy, as opposed to letting the comedy happen organically with charismatic people. This is proof positive that good actors, good performers can't overcome horseshit writing. Like some people, like you give the same material to The Rock or Ric Flair in his prime, they could make it work. They could put their own spin on it and make it work. Austin, the same thing. These guys, they're talented, but I feel like they're two charismatic guys who feel like they're stuck in a box. They don't want to deviate from what's been given to them on the page. And they're trying to put their spin on it the best way they can, but it's not working because I guess I don't want to say scared, but they're trepidatious. They don't want to deviate from what the company wants.
Wow, it's a big word. I don't even use that word. Too big for me to big for me to put in sentences.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I think the Street Profits they need to have a coming to Jesus meeting with New Day.
Oh.
I mean, just sit them guys down and give them some tips, because New Day, I feel like they have it down to a science. If you listen to their podcast, especially, they have a way of giving the company exactly what they want while still shitting on them.
All right, because when you said "come to Jesus," I thought they were going to go to Seth Rollins. I'm sorry. All right, well, you know what?
I think they would give them good advice on how to navigate these things, because even New Day with the very worst comedy has been able to make some gold. They've had a couple snickers, but for the most part, New Day is able to pull out comedy from bad segments.
Yeah, but the thing about that though is that I think that how they managed to get there, you can't teach somebody, because like Kofi was already at a point where he was a veteran in the company and he knew that he was kind of in purgatory. Yeah. And then you had Woods and Big E that were just kind of there too. And they just got to the point where they really kind of had nothing to lose. So they just said, fuck it, let's go for it. Their Street Profits are still relatively new in terms of grand scheme of things of how they've been with the company for. So I think right now they're still trying to impress and they're still trying to do a really good job. And they don't have that kind of fuck it, who cares mentality of they just been beaten down for so long that they're just going to do what they want to do. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, who cares?
Yeah. All right, guys, I have nothing on the Eric Rowan versus Matt Hardy. I really tuned out. I just don't even care. I mean, I like Matt Hardy, but this Eric Rowan thing, I don't care.
It is what it is.
It is.
I guess coming out of this, real quick, do you think Matt Hardy has one foot at the door, or do you think he's sticking around?
Probably one foot out the door, and I think he's going to be done after this, dude. I really do. I don't know. Who's going to AEW? Fuck you. I don't think he is. I think he's going to go and spend time with his family, and if I was him, I'd have one more with her.
Or at least keep on trying.
Or I'd enjoy trying. Just watch that razor blade in her mouth, dude.
I can slam a Latina.
Right, Shaheen? Watch that razor blade. Right. Little throwback there. A little throwback for you guys.
You think you think right before he's about to hit, you think Matt still does? You think he does that weird yelling thing that he used to do from the second row? I just picture. I just want to have that picture of Matt just
He was saying V1 nah. You don't remember that V1 nah? I think he yells V1.
Or do you think one? It was delightful.
No, I think it's V1. I do. I think it's V1 right before the come. Just, V1. That's what I think.
Shannon Moore just hanging out in the closet.
That little mouth for. And look, put it right. I don't care what nobody say, man. That era of Matt Hardy's career is so under fucking rated. Anybody that says this guy can't cut a promo, don't have any charisma, look at that V1 stuff, man. That shit was gold. I don't care what nobody say.
Oh yeah, definitely, man, definitely. All right, for having nothing on that match, we talked about it. There you go. Well, we talked about Matt Hardy at least, the greatness of Matt Hardy. But yeah, Smart, we didn't get to you. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. What do you think? One foot out the door, or is he leaving and going to AEW?
I think he's leaving, and I know that it's not going to go over well with you because you pretty much already said fuck you to the notion of it. But I do think he's going to end up in AEW.
Obviously,
like I'm not saying that it's a good idea. I actually kind of do think it might be a good idea if you just have him maybe in a non-wrestling role because he's just so beat up. But I think that's what's going to happen.
And when I say fuck you, obviously present company and listeners are all excluded.
Hey,
always.
So you mean except if Caitlin's listening? Then it's like fuck you all day, huh?
Well, I mean, there's there's different ways to get that out of, different ways to put that, Anthony.
And for the record, I feel like you've been cheating on Caitlyn lately. You ain't been giving her as much love as you used to.
I mean, she still looks damn good.
It's because she's losing that muscle mass and she's slimming down.
I just
it's all part of the plan. He's getting the restraining order reduced. Now it's only 300 feet.
I just happen to see Mandy Rose on TV more. And Jesus Christ, that is
Yeah. If I'm Otis, this fucking work is turned into a straight shoot.
Oh. I think she's married. She's either married or got a fiance, I believe. One of the two. I don't know. I forget. But she's I don't know. Maybe maybe not.
Look, man.
Yes, because if any business respects the sanctity of marriage, it's the pro wrestling business.
And this has nothing to do with SmackDown, nothing. But I just want to say that's probably the best storyline WWE got going right now. Mm-hmm. Hopefully they don't fuck it up, which means they probably will. But I just want to give props where props are due. The Otis and Mandy Rose storyline right now, fantastic. Especially, I mean, as much as I want to shit on that weekend update segment, the little video they did on Otis with Val Venus old music was fucking hilarious, bro. I'm sorry. If there was one thing, if it was one positive that I took away from that segment, it was that. Even in highlight form, Otis is golden.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's move on to this last match. We've spent way too much time on Raw, damn near an hour, guys. You know what? I really don't have a lot on this. Speaking of the sanctity of marriage, this Bobby Lashley, Lana, Rusev, Liv Morgan. I got to be honest with you. I'm just gonna say this. I am beyond done with this fucking storyline, dude. I mean, the match wasn't bad. The match was actually decent. Liv Morgan and Lana were awful. Rusev and Bobby Lashley were just fine. But I'm just completely disconnected from the whole thing. There's no part of me that wants to watch this, that cares. I think I got up, I fed my dog. I think I started doing dishes. I got to be honest. I really think I started doing dishes. I'm like, I would rather clean dog shit than watch this match. How's that sound? I got nothing for you. I got nothing for you, man.
I refer you to one of my all-time favorite Jerry Lawler quotes. Mm-hmm. I forgot the interview. I want to say it was like a World Wrestling Insanity interview or something like that. They asked him about like TNA, and he said something along the lines of, "I have more important things to do when TNA's on, like rearrange my sock drawer or something like that." Like, and I think that pretty much summed up my opinion on this. I don't know, maybe it's because I had a long day at work, but I actually didn't watch this live. I had to go back and look at the Hulu edit to catch the last 15-20 minutes because look, man, I enjoyed the wedding. I enjoyed segments of this feud past couple weeks, but I feel like it's really starting to get a little long in the tooth. And hopefully this was the blow off. Hopefully they give Lashley his damn wish, give him the match with Lesnar, because apparently the only reason he puts up with some of these god-awful storylines is because he has his dream, he has his hope that one day he will be able to work a match with Brock Lesnar. Now, I feel like had they booked this fresh off of his return, there would have been some mileage behind it, but I feel like he's been diminished since he's been returned, since he's come back. Because he really, I mean, you know what I mean? He's kind of like regressed in a lot of ways. Promo ability. His man, I mean, he's definitely better in the ring than he was during his first run, but I don't know. Do you think that there's still some mileage there for a Lesnar Lashley match?
Yeah, I do. When you guys tapping your mic, you ruin your mic. Don't do that. Anyway, yeah, I do see it. I know it sounds crazy the way they're booking him right now, but you know how WWE is. They'll torture him for a while. If he goes, and he's a good boyo and does the go along to get along, then he'll be fine. And they will give him the match. They probably will eventually. But if he, if he decides to stand up for himself or anything, they're probably going to pull it for him. Because if you remember, that was the rumor, is the fact that Rusev will say no to stuff, and that was one of the reasons they stopped pushing him. If he didn't like storylines, he'd go, I don't like this.
So basically, you're saying that he was punished because he dared to have an independent thought.
Well,
like,
I mean, there was that. There was the storyline that him and Lana ruined. There was many more things. I'm just saying that was one of the rumors that that he was. Maybe they gave him one more shot, and I'm sure he wants to do the old, like I said, the good boyo, go along, get along, and do what you're told. And hey, man, you know, the check's got to clear, brother.
I mean, but hey, yeah, checks got to clear, but man, hey, look, checks got to clear, but you know what? At least he put his relationship and his marriage above all. Like, I mean, look, like you said, checks got to clear, but you know what? He said, you know what? This is my wife, man. I can't, you can't. I'm not gonna have you. Ain't gonna have her out in this storyline disrespecting me, disrespecting herself. So look, you got the that's very commendable.
Well, here's the thing. She, from all of the Meltzer stories, is being praised by Kevin Dunn and by Vince McMahon for her work. So she probably thinks she's doing the greatest fucking thing since sliced bread out there, and everyone else is despising this storyline, not for the fact that she's a heel and you're supposed to, but for the fact that she is god-awful, holy shit, or rather do the fucking dishes or pick up dog shit than watch this shit.
I wonder if it's a situation, though, it's like the ultimate troll job, where they know she's horrible, but it seems that, as weird as it is to say, that they're a weird company, dude. Like, they have weird ways of humbling people. I feel like I've said it before, I feel like they know she's horrible, and they're basically putting her out there to drown. And they're almost trolling her by saying, yeah, you're very good at what you do. It's like that tongue-in-cheek thing. Because for as long as these people have been around the wrestling business, they've been surrounded by some of the greatest talkers and stickmen in the history of the business. They cannot look at her promo style, her promo ability, her cadence with a straight face and think it's good. I'm sorry. Like, come on, Vince McMahon. This is Vince McMahon. He's been surrounded by the best for decades at this point. He can't look at Lana and go, yeah, that's good shit. And I'm being very sincere with that. He got to be trolling this woman, right? He got to be.
Yeah, I'm Antox. I'm 100% with you. You're giving WWE way too much credit here. I know they're clever. I know they're crafty. I know they will punish someone. I think Vince thinks this is great shit. You've got to remember some of the things we've heard about Vince McMahon. He thought Sable was great. Sable couldn't cut a promo to save her life. Sable had great tits.
She spoke to me in my generation.
Hey, she spoke to me too in certain places of my generation, and general areas too. But I mean, listen, like I said, but Vince McMahon, that's one of the stories. Him and Vince Russo supposedly had this huge hard on for Sable. That's one of the reasons she was getting the push as she was.
I bet.
No pun intended. No pun intended. Maybe a little, but I think Vince thinks this is really good. I really do. I really do. Bro, listen to the storylines he was pitching Dean Ambrose. That's good shit, pal. Go out there with ketchup bottles and mustard. It's yellow. People love yellow. I know he didn't really say that, but that's probably what he was thinking in his feeble mind. So I exaggerate. I've got a microphone. I'm supposed to do that.
I wonder if he would have stayed with the company, if that would have been him in the storyline right now.
Yeah, and she got Playboy, and like Antox says, she did Playboy after she turned heel and did it Playboy. That was her second Playboy run. Listen, I loved it. It was awesome seeing her naked. Loved it. But as far as going out there and being this great wrestler or talented, talker on the mic, Sable was neither. She had great tits, though. Great body, great tits. Sorry. Didn't mean to.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, like, if you go back and you look at some old segments, it's like, you kind of ask yourself, like, why did I like this one? I'm like, oh, yeah, tits. Because a lot of her stuff does not, the matches, the promo, a lot of that shit doesn't age well. Shit that I was popping for, no pun intended, in 98, 99, it was just, it's not resonating the same way. It's not the, you know what I mean? You don't have that same feeling of like, wow, this was good. There's a lot from the Attitude Era that still stands the test of time. A lot of Sable segments do not.
Yeah, and Sacha Baron Corbin, good point. This is the man. Vince McMahon is the man who came up with the incest storyline between him and Stephanie.
That they had to shut down. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So let's enough. And then they were going to switch it to who was it? The pirate, Paul Burcher.
Yeah, Paul
Burchill.
and Katie Lee Burchill. Yeah.
Burchill. There you go. I was close. I was right in the middle there. Yeah.
Yeah. She was a winner in TNA, I believe.
Yes, she was. Katie Lee Burchill. That's what it is. Exactly.
Not forget Beaver Cleavage.
Beaver Cleavage.
That was his gimmick. Was he was supposed to be fucking his mom?
That's right. So I mean, there's it's. You can sit there and say Vince can't really think with a straight. That they're trolling her. They're doing this. Vince is not in his right mind right now, and hasn't been for a long time, from what I hear.
Yeah, it is weird though.
No matter how bad it is, it's getting high ratings.
But, and I trust me, I know this is a kind of a cliche. Is it for the right reasons? It doesn't matter. I know it doesn't matter to that company. Ratings equal ratings.
Right.
But is it getting ratings for people going, yeah, let me watch how bad this is? Which shows where we are in society that, got that car crash mentality.
Yeah, but I mean, look at, if you go on YouTube, some of the highest fucking rated videos are why does this movie suck? Why did this video game turn out so poorly? All that. That's where we are. Like you said, that's where we are society-wise.
Yeah, and didn't Ryan Shamrock say they wanted her and Ken to do the same thing? The incest storyline?
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I don't remember, but it sounds entirely plausible.
I think Ryan Shamrock did say that. I know it's not a real name. That's what I know.
They kind of were, because I think they were dating at the time they were doing that angle.
Oh, in real life, they were fucking.
Yeah. They wasn't stunt fucking. They was fucking.
Nah, they went full Brady Bunch. They went full Brady Bunch, and people my age.
Yeah, I wonder, all these, we're talking about incest, Vince, for him to have such a hard on, he's always had a hard on for Southerners and people from down south, people that have an accent that speak with a Southern twang, right? But he's hell bent on getting this incest. I wonder if Vince is just trying to tell us something. Sometimes I just want to sit there, who hurt you? Why do you want to do these angles? Fucking your daughter, impregnating her, and then all of these weird. I don't know. That really kind of speaks to something. Because you're right. He tried to get that incest angle off the ground for a long ass time.
Yes, he did. He did. Yeah, he did.
Even by wrestling standards, that's fucking weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's. And Christopher Kane, you're right. Incest on Pornhub is everywhere. If literally every video, stepmother, mother, son, mother, father, son, mother, father. It's Jesus Christ. I just want to see an Asian chick get fucked without being blurred. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Obviously.
But I mean that was raw, and like I said, it wasn't a bad show.
No, actually, I thought it was great. I actually enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I agree.
I enjoyed it for the most part.
All right, we spent way too much time on Raw, guys. Let's really, and I got to be honest, I've got very short notes on AEW. AEW was not a bad show, and this was the Chris Jericho's Rockin' Rager at Sea. This was the second one. I believe they called it the Second Wave Part 2, or Part 2, Second Wave, actually. Sorry, guys. It wasn't a great show. It wasn't a bad show. I will tell you one thing. It was a fun show because that crowd was having a great time. They looked like they'd been drinking all fucking day, and I don't fucking blame them. They're on a goddamn cruise. That's what you're supposed to do on a goddamn cruise. And they were having a great time. They were literally, they were close enough to go back and forth with each other, which I like that. The crowd were actually chanting back and forth to each other a lot of the show.
Yeah. My first thought when I saw the show, I enjoyed the setting. It took me back to the good old days of Nitro. Because say what you want about WCW, they were always good about making their sets very creative and very visual.
Yeah.
When it came to pay-per-views, and especially visually, some of my favorite Nitros of all time were Spring Break. Okay. Outside, the skyline, the beach. People and somebody always going in that fucking pool, which I'm glad to see that tradition continue tonight. So kudos for that. I don't know. Other thought that I had was those poor wrestlers being stuck at sea with a bunch of Could you, like, seriously, bro? Could you imagine? Look, I know we're speaking about our own kind, but could you imagine being a wrestler, being surrounded by those type of fans, and being contractually obligated to be nice because of the money that they spent to be there?
I'd be giving out razors. I'd be like, listen, just shave your neck. Come on, just do it. Just do it.
But look, here's $5. Buy some deodorant.
No, listen. I'm sure. I mean, Jericho. If you didn't listen, they already have this shit lined up for next year. I think they said February 4th through 9th, if I'm not mistaken. Was it a 5-day cruise?
1st through 5th, I believe.
Was it 1st through 5th? All right, I really wasn't listening. I heard 5th on there somewhere. So already they are, they got the other one lined up, and this is obviously a good success for them. I'm sure they actually, believe it or not, they probably have fun with these fans. These fans are the most rabid. I'm not comparing them to the ECW fans, but they've got the same sort of credo of ECW fans thought ECW was the greatest thing in the world. Those AEW fans think the same thing. So, there you go. But I mean, I like the set. I like the show. I thought it was the crowd looked like they were having a great time. And I got to tell you, man, what's fucking cooler than being out on a fucking boat in the middle of the fucking ocean and watching a fucking damn good wrestling show? Seriously. Can you think of anything better?
Yeah. Believe it or not, it was fun. I mean, all jokes aside, I don't know, maybe one of these days, one of these years, maybe I'll take it up. I'll try it out. Would you actually do one of those cruises, Bob?
Yeah, I probably would.
What about you, Smart?
Yeah, I mean, other than the fact that it's, like, super fucking expensive, but, I mean, if you actually drink a lot, which I do, you'll make your money back, which I would. So, I mean, there's that.
And you can gamble on those cruises usually, which is cool. But I really think for a cruise, I thought, for a boat, I know it's a cruise ship, but I thought they were incredibly creative with the set, the way they had it worked out. There was and they made a point of saying, you're not going to see many of the high flyers tonight. There's not a lot of room between the ring and the crowd. JR didn't say it like that, but he kind of made a point of saying it at one point that you're not going to see that. And we didn't see many high flyers out there doing crazy moves. But I really was impressed at the set for being such a small, like JR said, an intimate space. And I thought it came off really well. I didn't think it came off Bush League, which I was expecting from this show, but this shit came off pretty fucking good, man. And like I said, or like Anthony said, it kind of brought him back to kind of the old times when the outside shows. I love the outside shows. I really do. I don't know what it is, but they got a great feel. And I know there's a risk of rain, but love it. So I don't know. And Smark, what you got on all of it there? Just kind of give a little overall there.
Yeah, I would just kind of words, reiterating. Damn it, Al. Possessed.
Don't you don't.
Yeah, I like the fact that I've always loved the outside venues, like the Road Wild and shit like that. I like the fact that it actually changed the way the setting actually changed the way the matches worked out. Because like we were talking about, there wasn't a lot of room for a lot of crazy dives or a lot of stuff on the outside. So like you actually had to wrestle almost a different style in order to accommodate the venue, which was interesting. Just all in all, it seems it's always fun because it always seems like it kind of helps to break up the monotony of you're not just watching another wrestling show.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I really thought they did good. I was actually, like I said, I was impressed by this first little show. And did they tape last year's? Like, is there, can you watch it anywhere? Did they release it? I don't know.
I heard that they were super militant about what they allowed, because I heard they were even like trying to confiscate fans' cell phones. Like, you couldn't take pictures. They particularly said that it was all prohibited. You couldn't take any pictures.
Okay.
I don't think you could take any video, and I don't think they recorded it. Which, I mean, if you're looking at losing quite a bit of money if like people know that they could just watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll pretty much almost guarantee Jericho funded this one last year, and I'll bet Tony Khan helped him fund this one this year, obviously with AEW coming on here. And you know what? Once again, what a win for Jericho. He's got his name on this show. They'll be able to do this all the fucking time. And another win for fucking Chris Jericho. Already in 2020, this guy is starting to win.
Yeah.
Man, Jericho already starting to take over.
Yeah, because like I saw everybody that bought tickets like in their cabin, they gave them a bottle of the bubbly. So it's like, that's perfect because you give them a taste, and then it turns out to be good. You're making even more money. So it's like, oof, making money fucking hand over fist. That guy like so marketable right now.
Those people will come back next year just because of that small gesture right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I feel bad because they were saying the people that were there last year said they got a clipboard. I was like, shit, kind of got ripped off.
Did it say the list of Jericho at least?
Yeah, I think that was the gimmick. But it was like, comparatively speaking, that's still, you could have bought one of those on fucking WWE.com for a while there for like $15.
They're probably $2.99 now. But
no, fuck that. No. Them motherfuckers were selling that shit for $25.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would. Yeah. No, fuck that.
Yeah, I could make one for cheaper than that. But good. Like I said, I'm not saying it was a great show. I'm not saying it was a bad show. But I definitely thought it was a fun atmosphere for a show. I think there was only 5 matches. I'm not going to run down everything, but.
Well, we should talk about the biggest because they had like they had a makeshift tag team.
Yep, and we're
won the tag team titles. That was the first match.
Absolutely, definitely. First match was AEW Tag Team Championship match. It was Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. They did defeat SCU, new tag team champions. Little surprised, not so surprised. Kind of in the middle here on the fence. Little surprised they would change them that quick. Not surprised they would do it on a special type show like this with Jericho's name on it.
Yeah, I was actually surprised because I was waiting for that heel turn. I was waiting for it.
Yep, I was too.
Yeah, believe it or not, because I had no doubt that they were going to win the titles at some point. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, I thought they were going to do it at the pay-per-view, and it was going to lead to some type of implosion.
Well, remember, Jericho said they're going to make the biggest star ever out of Hangman Page. So you just wait for that, Anthony.
So, like, what do you think on him so far? I mean, he's starting to show some more personality, but I don't know. Maybe because I'm older. I'm kind of a little turned off by the fact that they're making him like a drunk, and they're kind of making light.
Yeah.
Only because I'm old enough to remember the whole Scott Hall thing, the Road Warrior Hawk thing. Those are guys that had genuine Look, I don't know Hangman Page. For all I know, he could be a very well-adjusted human being, and he's just playing a drunk on TV. But it's just something about, I don't know, going down that road.
Yeah.
Even in the comedic sense, they're kind of like, eh.
Drinking beer with the crowd is one thing, but I got a feeling the whiskey is apple juice. Dean Martin used to do that, the old crooner. He'd be out there with apple juice instead of whiskey. People thought he was drinking whiskey or scotch. He'd be out there drinking apple juice.
Did you just compare Hangman Page to Dean Martin?
No, I compared the drinks. No.
Because Dean Martin has way more charisma than fucking Hangman Page.
I was comparing alcoholic beverages. I was not comparing the person. I want to clear that up. Thank you, Anthony, for making me do that. Want to make that clear. Just comparing alcoholic beverages to non-alcoholic beverages. But yeah, I'm not crazy about this whole drunk thing either. And he did go in the crowd at one point, and after the match, celebrate by drinking beer with the crowd. At one point, we might as well just go ahead and do this, guys, and get through this quick. Even at one point, they had a backstage segment where they were talking. It was Omega and Hangman, and he was back there drinking whiskey, and him and Omega's talking, and then he goes to him, and the Young Bucks cut him off, and he's all drunk, gets mad, and leaves. I'm not crazy about the whole drunk thing. Listen, I'm sitting here drinking right now. Don't sit here and go, what are you, some kind of fucking prima donna teetotaler? No. But it doesn't really fit the character, believe it or not.
Well, I mean, isn't his gimmick that he's like a fucking cowboy?
Oh, is he? I mean, I know he's ridden a horse.
He's got horses and shit on his Titan video screen. A
cowboy would not wear those trunks in the ring, I'll tell you.
Cowboy fashion tips with box fans.
You ain't getting no cowboy to wear those fucking trunks in a ring or anywhere unless there is a naked woman around or possibly a naked horse. That's all I'm saying.
No self-respecting cattle wrestler would be caught dead in those garments.
Well, this whole time I'm thinking his gimmick was he was the illegitimate love child of Barry Windham and Magnum TA.
There you go, Magnum TA. You know what? There you go, little Magnum TA there with the vest. Listen, I'm fucking around. I do know his character as a cowboy, and that's fine. But I don't know, just not crazy about it, and not all cowboys are drunks.
And
remember, I was born in Boston. Everybody, I'm a Yankee at heart. So. That might explain the drinking right there, actually.
Toby Keith.
Yes, I like that.
Toby Keith.
I'm not a drunk. I'm from Boston. Like, excuse me?
Toby Keith, was he the one that would make those pop-up appearances in TNA?
I think it was. Toby Keith, famous for the "we're going to kick someone's ass" song in America.
Lie, look, Vox, you know me. You know I'm not a big fan of the country music.
Yeah.
But I did get a kick out of that song because the song you just referenced, that was right after 9/11, right?
Yeah.
When he wanted to get America motivated again. Gonna kick some more red, white, and blue ass.
For the red, white, and blue, he's got a couple good ones. I like what is this? I Love This Bar song. He's got a few good songs actually.
Yeah. I don't know his catalog. I just know I like that "Kicking Ass America" song. That's about it.
I could rattle off a few more, but I'll spare you the torture, sir. But yeah, so there we go. New champions, new tag team champions for AEW. And Antox did say this earlier. I didn't get to it. This is technically their first title change.
Yeah. So do you think SCU gained anything from this title run, or do you think it was too short to mean much?
Go ahead, Smark. I'm getting a beer.
Well, I mean, they gained criticism from me at every turn because I just wasn't feeling them. I don't think it's not going to be looked back on as like one of the more memorable title reigns in AEW or anywhere else. It just they were the first champions. I thought it was a bad call when they did that at the time, and now I guess they're moving on to something else. Like I said, I didn't think it was a good call at the time. I feel like they're in a better place now.
Right.
I don't know what exactly is going to be going on now that it looks like we're still going to get the heel turn. I was kind of hoping that there would be like a double heel turn. And then when the Bucks came out, I thought maybe it was like a swerve and they were going to turn on them. The Bucks were going to turn on Hangman and Kenny Omega, but that didn't happen. So, I mean, it'd be an interesting dynamic to kind of see with like Kenny being the constant smiling, happy baby face and, Paige being the alcoholic heel. So it'd be an interesting dynamic. I'm kind of curious to see how they juggle that. But
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Anthony.
No, I was gonna say, title run. To kind of Smart's point, I wanted to like it. I wanted to give it a chance, but I feel like they didn't really give them a chance to really grow into the role of champions. It seemed like just as they were starting to build up some momentum, build up some buzz, especially you had Scorpio Sky had the great match with Jericho a couple weeks ago. He's starting to show some personality on the mic. All of a sudden, bam, you just take it all away. So I feel like just as they were starting to build up some buzz, they took it away. So hopefully, whatever SCU had going, they can keep that momentum going. I will say the heel turn, when it eventually happens, because you know it's going to happen, do you think it's going to pack the punch that a lot of people are thinking it's going to pack? Only because they really haven't, goes back to explaining things on TV and not just, the internet. They haven't really established the Elite guys as a faction going back, years at this point.
Right.
They've alluded to it. So do you think that heel turn is going to pack the punch that it needs to pack? Because they haven't really acknowledged the fact that these guys are tight. Because pretty much when Dynamite debuted, they were already saying, yeah, Hangman, he's not a part of that Elite anymore. He's doing his own thing. They kind of just said that. And you got to watch the Elite show to kind of follow what's going on. I'm like, nah, fuck that. They haven't really done a good job of connecting these guys on TV. Is my opinion.
Yeah, and Antox, I agree with you. Paige is going to beat the hell out of Omega when it does happen, and I think it might pack a good punch. I'll tell you right now, it's going to go over gigantic with that hardcore AEW crowd.
That gets it.
Absolutely. And the ones that are, again, the ones like you mentioned, Anthony, watching Being the Elite, that are really invested in this whole AEW, thing and storyline. Excuse me, guys. I think to them it will. We might not have the same opinion, but you never know. The way that it may come off great. I'm not going to lie. They got me interested to see how this storyline does play out with Hangman, because you can see it getting further and further. You can see he's starting to hate the Bucks. They're interrupting his promo right when he starts talking. He's getting pissed. He's getting drunk pissed, which is worse. I think it might work out okay, believe it or not. I really do. Smart?
Yeah, I don't know. Like you said, I guess it kind of depends on the venue. Because if they pick somewhere like Chicago that seems to be big into what they've been doing so far, they'll probably get a pretty good reaction. And then, it's always hard to tell, because sometimes there's just those pivotal moments, and I don't at all want to put them on the same pedestal in terms of talent. But who would have thunk that when Shawn Michaels tossed Marty Jannetty through a window, it'd be the catalyst for one of the biggest careers ever? Yeah, he's a way more talented, but did we know that at the time?
Right. Right.
So we'll see how it goes. It's interesting. I like the idea that they're at least, again, trying to give him a character to work with. Because if anything, the only problem I really had with him was he just seemed like another guy that was a good wrestler, and that was about it. So, we'll see. We'll see how his character ends up going, and we'll see how they end up executing it. Because, if they execute it in the right way, who knows what it could lead to.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess for that's going to be one slow. I mean, I know we've shit on Hangman a little bit here and there, and this drunk storyline doesn't have a lot to offer us. But let's see how it plays out, because it's got my attention, it's got my curiosity. So let's see what happens. I guess on to the next thing. I don't have much on the actual match. It was Britt Baker who defeated Priscilla Kelly. I will say Darby Allin's a lucky man, because that Priscilla Kelly, I don't care how dirty she is a sexy little girl. She is hot, man. She's tiny, she's hot. I don't know. I like that girl.
No, my main takeaway from this match is fucking Excalibur on commentary. We have the best way. The fuck out of here, man. Come on. How he said that with a straight face. Look.
He's kudos. In a mask. You don't know if he had a straight face. Well, tell me I'm wrong. This is a facts, motherfucker. Facts. That's what we spit
Well,
on
I
this.
mean, we couldn't see the commentary team at all, so yeah, we have no idea. He could have been like laughing and elbowing JR in the ribs.
Could have been.
Speaking of, I feel like it's obligatory that we have to mention Jim Ross because of the conditions on the cruise, the wind and whatnot. No hat.
Yeah, you got a point.
He felt naked. I mean, look, Jim Ross went a long time in his career without a hat, without any type of headgear. But goddamn, once Vince McMahon put that cowboy hat on him, it became part of his like persona. I just felt like he fell asleep. He went to sleep in that hat. He took a shit in that hat. He fucked in that hat.
Those hats are not
phrasing.
I got to tell you, those hats are not cheap.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to take a shit in the hat.
No,
That's
go look up cowboy hats. You're gonna be like, they're that expensive? What the fuck? Look up cowboy boots. I want to talk about expensive. There's some expensive shit out there, but yeah, what I really want to talk about is after the match, Britt Baker was doing her.
Where the fuck did that come from?
Oh, wait a minute. That was yeah. Where the fuck
I felt attacked. Considering what I did at one point in my life, I felt attacked. I want to say, bitch, what are you doing? Like,
number one, number two, she was so awful at this promo. Number one, you couldn't hear half of it from the wind. Number two, she tried to insult Tony Schiavone, and that shit didn't fly. And then number three, she was so awful, they cut to a commercial. Not even a picture-in-picture. They cut full commercial with this girl still mid-fucking sentence. They're like, yeah, nah, bitch. Nah.
Jim Ross on commentary said, let's cut to a commercial so we can get out of this segment.
Yeah.
This is a pre-recorded show.
Yes.
He did not say that live.
Oh, God, they let it fly. And by the way, when they did come back, there was a gentleman in the audience who had Tony Schiavone's signature tattooed on his arm. Did you guys catch that, yes or no?
No, I'm sorry, I missed that one.
This is why we take notes, sir. I saw this. I was amazed. Actually, it was right before. It was right when they. It was right when they came back. So, yeah.
So, I don't know, man. Like, are you think they try? You think they're trying to make her their Becky? Because it just seemed out of place.
Yeah.
Like, and of all people to cut up a shoot promo, you picked fucking Tony Schiavone. Like, what is that? What was the purpose?
I don't know. The crowd wasn't into it. And you know what? Thank you, Jim Ross, for getting us out of this shit. Because
once again, man, Jim Ross is gold. That line was, like Smart said, this was a pre-recorded show, and I guess they listened to it and said, "Hey, he's right.
Yeah,
keep it in there, fucking."
Listen, we've made some fucking references. Talk about getting off the ship. They should have thrown her off overboard at that point. That's all I'm saying.
Let's cut to commercials.
Cut to commercial. Throw this bitch overboard and get her out of here. God damn. Please. Tell her to go fucking fix someone's teeth. Anyway. Any more on that, guys?
No. Once again, I just pray more than anything, just praise for Jim Ross. Just because I actually binge listened to a couple of episodes of his podcast this past weekend, and I gotta say, if you want unedited, just no fucks given Jim Ross, listen to his podcast. Because I listened to it initially, but then I kind of like, not through any fault of him. I was worn out on wrestling podcasts, but I picked back up with it this week, and man, I listened to like 3 episodes straight, and it was glorious.
Oh, shit. Antox just posted something in the chat room. You guys should definitely be in the chat room. If you're not, mixer.com/dirtsheetdudes. Definitely get in here to check out the chat room. Chat with some great people in here. He put up a thing on Twitter. You guys should pull this up real quick. It's Tony Schiavone. When she started cutting the promo, he's just going, what the fuck? And it was caught on camera, so it's a nice little GIF now. You can go ahead and catch on Twitter there. And once again, if you're in the chat room, all you have to do is click the link.
Yeah, who knew? Once again, man, who knew Tony Schiavone? Like, gotta give that guy credit, man. First off, for being a good sport for this horseshit segment, but here's another guy who's found a new lease on life. You know, the Danny Tanner of pro wrestling commentators. Go
No.
No. Come on, because he always kind of had that, like, button up, like, good old boy. No, am I wrong?
I'm just saying, if he ain't coming out in no cardigan sweaters. Has he yet?
No, not yet.
All right.
Yeah, I'd say that would be more like a Mike Tenay thing.
Because, Bob Saget is the coolest motherfucker in a cardigan sweater. If you've never heard that song, you need to. You never heard the Bob Saget song?
No, it's a Bob Saget song?
Oh, let's get through AEW and I'll pop it out for you guys.
Wow.
I'll find that shit. We'll play a little bit of it. I'll find that shit. We don't have much more to AEW, to be honest with you.
I'm looking at this GIF. It's like, oh, this is actually tremendous,
isn't it?
Like Shivani, he looks like legitimately like, where the fuck is this coming from?
The fuck this bitch saying?
Yeah, he actually looks pissed off.
And this is kind of become a thing with him. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but like anytime he goes to interview a wrestler, like something happens that it fucks up the interview.
Right.
Because like a couple weeks ago, he got beat up. Last week, he was in the middle of interviewing Pac in the ring, and then Moxley came out to ruin that part of the interview. Now he came out to interview Britt Baker, and she did the biggest heel turn since Hulk Hogan at Bash at the Beach.
Whoa!
Yeah, I mean, that's why we're joking about this, right? We're all trying to get over our heartbreak. We are all very loyal residents of Britsburg, and we just didn't expect to be fucking Pearl Harbored in the heart by Britt Baker turning our backs on all of us.
Man, I didn't expect that.
Third woman.
Didn't expect that bomb to fucking drop right now, but look, there it is, and here we are.
Well, look, she's the prettiest woman on this ship, and you guys are all a bunch of shitty baristas.
I would.
Dear God, was that a terrible?
I would.
Like, I feel like she deserves credit for somehow being shitty as a face and a heel. Like, usually you have to be a special level of talent to pull that off.
Oh, I think Antox might have posted this. If that's the right one, go. We're going to get through AEW first. We're not stopping. We're not going to do it. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. So let's keep going, guys. I will not let it happen. I will not.
Well, let's just kind of focus on the highlights of the show.
I do.
So we got an MJF and
wait a minute. We cannot skip the fact that during the next match, when Jericho was coming to the ring, this crowd was singing his song to him.
Yeah, it's actually really cool.
That is a great moment for any wrestler, I would have to think. And they were singing the song to him. Now, they did show video of Jericho doing a concert before, so I'm sure everyone got to go to the concert too. And I'm sure they knew the song very well. But we cannot you're right.
Absolutely,
right. We cannot pass by the fact that crowd was singing his own song, a Fozzy song, a song that everyone shits on, a band everyone shits on, and they were singing that song back to him. Great moment, cool moment. Once again, this show had the great, fun atmosphere to it. I don't care if the matches every match on this show could have sucked, and I think it still would have come off as an enjoyable show for that reason.
Yeah, kudos to Jericho, because you could tell like that kind of he had a little smile on his face,
right?
Pro character, because because how could you not? And I'm not the biggest Fozzy expert or fan, but that song, I'll be honest, his theme song has grown on me since the start of AEW. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's because I've heard it fucking 18,000 times. But the song's actually grown. It's actually a pretty decent song.
Yeah, it really is. It's actually pretty fucking cool. Just maybe the song. I don't know. We'll check it out. We'll check it out after we get through this.
But this man, it was a good match. My only critique of the match was Jericho as the world champion, especially going into a hot feud with Moxley. Should not be fucking in there selling for fucking Marco Stunt. I'm fucking sorry.
I'm. Thank you for bringing it up.
That's probably subconsciously. That's the reason why I wanted to skip over it, just because I wanted to be positive. I enjoyed the majority of the match, but fuck that. I mean, look, man, Marco Stunt living his dream, all that. That's fantastic. bravo.
You know,
but this is the world fucking champion.
I know, but you know, if you watch the way Jericho did this, it didn't make him look weak. You know why? He didn't really sell for the move. He lost his balance. When he put him in the crucifix, when Marco Stunt put him in he lost his balance, and that's what made him fall down. And then he got up and he fucking took him down. Honestly, dude, this was actually not a bad use. And Jericho thought it out well to where he wouldn't look weak. So I don't know whose idea it was to do it the way they did it, but to me, it actually wasn't a bad way to do it. You know what I mean? I don't know if you caught that, but I actually did, because I was like, oh, Jericho's going to sell for this shit. And then I saw him lose his balance, and I'm like, that wasn't horrible. So that's what I got on that. But Marco's stunt, I do agree. Talk about a fish out of water. So.
What you got, Smart?
Yeah, I feel like it was a missed opportunity because they had Marco Stunt come out and he had the life preserver on. That was cool.
Yes.
But I feel like they missed the opportunity to give him like water wings, and then you could just have him do a spot where he does like the people's elbow, but he takes off one of the water wings. Or if you don't want to directly remind people of the competition, you just have him like take one off and then do like a fucking top rope elbow drop. Like they really missed the boat on that one. The fact that they're giving Luchasaurus a move that they call the Shining Lizard, that's solid.
Yeah,
I like the pun. I like the pun. I'm not gonna go through every fucking move in the match though, but yeah, it was all right. It wasn't bad. You know, I feel like I don't really care honestly about size as long as they're decent wrestlers. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the whole Marco Stunt thing, like everybody's giving him shit. But did you really look at how fucking small Jungle Boy looks, especially compared to like Jericho? Because like, I'm not gonna make fun of Jericho or anything, but he, you know, he's gotten older and his physique's gotten a little bit, you know, it shows that he drinks a lot. I'll just say that much. But like, you had both of them out there. You had I keep wanting to call him Luchasaurus, but you had Jungle Boy and you had Marco Stunt, and then you had LAX out there, and they made them look like they were the fucking Powers of Pain. Like they're not big big guys normally, but my God, they looked huge.
And listen, if anyone's got the right to act like a rock star and be drinking all the time, it's fucking Jericho. Let him fucking do it. He's old enough to do it. He still can talk. He still can go in the ring. I don't give a flying shit. You want to take pictures of this guy looking fat? I don't give a flying fuck if he's fat. Look at him. Let's really stop judging. I thought we were in an age where we're not supposed to judge people on their weight. We're not supposed to fat shame. We're supposed to just judge people on what they do. That shit goes fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not at all trying to make fun of Jericho.
No. I'm just saying.
Sitting there going, oh, I love Otis, and then being like, oh, you know, Jericho looks a little chunky. Like that doesn't work. But my God, yeah, he definitely deserves it.
Yeah.
And like, I really didn't get to chime in on it too much, but like, we were talking about them singing. Imagine how you had to feel like you were fucking Batista with how big your dick had to feel. You coming out there, he wanted to be a rock star, and he wanted to be a wrestler growing up his entire life. He comes out there, he's a champion of a multi-million-dollar company. He's on his own cruise. People that have paid him thousands of dollars to be on his cruise, because I think it's usually like $2,000 or $3,000 for a ticket. Like, these people that have all paid him money to be there, directly him, are singing his song that he wrote. Like, fucking, oh my God, imagine how big you had to have felt at that moment. That shit was incredible.
Yep.
And they were even doing, like, they kept chanting, doing the best over and over again, too. Like, they just love anything about what they were doing. They loved them from Jericho's Inner Circle.
Yeah. Once again, the matches did not have to be great in here. Just the atmosphere of the crowd made this match great. But anyway, I think we're done with that, and we can move on to the MJF thing. And like Anthony mentioned before, MJF really fucking always great. He had a match against Joey Janela. Why the braids, Joey Janela? Come on, dude. What? Why? Why?
And this is a perfect set. I meant to bring this up with the Raw review, so apologies. We won't fat shame. We won't Jericho shame. But we have to bring attention to a plight that's affecting our society, that needs to die, a plight that needs to be killed off. in this decade. The fucking man bun. Because we had a segment on Raw. We had two motherfuckers in the same segment with a man bun, and nobody took a minute to step back and say, nah, this ain't a good look. Like, two grown-ass men with man buns. And I only bring this up because I remember Janela had posted a picture of himself a couple weeks ago, or it might have been just a week or so ago, with the man bun. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, Adam Cole is still doing that. Like, what the fuck is up with the man bun all of a sudden? I didn't like I said, it never used to bother me before until I saw like it's becoming more prolific in wrestling. And then when you see Cole, and then when you're watching Raw, and you see Rollins and Murphy side by side cutting promos, the fucking man bun.
You know what I noticed?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bob.
No. I'm sorry. I cut you off. Know what I noticed?
What's that?
And I'm kind of pulling off of Sacha Baron Corbin's point here, where man buns and neck beards should both be gone. AEW fans have neck beards. WWE fans have man buns. You see the difference? That's all I'm saying. I mean, everyone's got their thing, you know. It's just who follows what.
Back in our day, Box, men were men, and men were they either wore their hair long or they shaved it off, like Austin.
Right, and I mean the bald look is still in. The bald look will always be in because of male pattern baldness.
I feel like you guys are about to start crooning from the piano here. And you knew who you were then. Girls were girls and men were men.
All right. Now, after the match, once again, I really got nothing on the match. It was fine. MJF won the match. It was a fine match, and I really don't want to sit here and go, it was a good match. They did this. No. What I want to talk about is Cody Rhodes came down to a normal entrance, by the way. I'm surprised he didn't have a helicopter pulling up his Wizard of Oz entrance. But I'm sure Tony Khan just couldn't get the helicopter there in time. One thing I did notice when Cody Rhodes did come down after the match to confront MJF, even though Cody couldn't touch him, he brought the Young Bucks down, and they did give him a super kick, which Jim Ross could not help but call sweet chin music. If you didn't catch it, I did.
Awesome.
You caught it?
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, awesome. Look, once again, I mean, I'm probably going to feel a JR Powell is here, but dude, he worked for that company for how many years? He had a connection, and when you see certain moves, and like you got to look at it like this, everything's about context. He worked with Shawn. He worked in that company for so many years. Super kick was a finish.
Yep.
You got part of him. It got to burn him up inside to see a fucking a move that was a finish for years upon years, a credible finish. All of a sudden, reduced to a transition spot. Plus, I chalked it up to force of habit, man. Like you associate certain moves with certain people. If you work with those people for so many years, it was a slip of the tongue.
Muscle memory, dude. It's muscle memory. That's literally what it is. He sees it, he calls it, and he's used to calling it one. And I totally agree with you. How long did he work for WWE? What I'm gonna? It's in the teens, right? Maybe even double. I don't know. Maybe even 20s. He's worked for a very long time.
No, probably like 20. Like 23, 24 years.
Yeah.
If you don't count the 18 times he got fired, he was pretty much with them for like 23, 24 years, something like that.
All right, so probably in the teens somewhere. Okay, so, but yeah, just muscle memory, dude. I mean, give the guy a fucking break. Stop it already. But anyway, I did like the whole segment, and like Anthony said way back a little while ago, MJF did end up in the pool. Great shit. Obviously, it was a little cheesy, the Young Bucks and shit like that. But the crowd loved it. And once again, the crowd was great. I loved the crowd. I don't care how drunk they were. I don't care how many neck beards were in the fucking crowd. Great crowd, having a great time.
And once again, giving credit where it's due, they're getting a little better with the storyline continuity. They had Penelope Ford and Kip Sabian cost Joey Janela the match. And yeah, there you go.
There you go. Anything, Smark, anything on that? Or can we, I guess we're going to the last match already, guys. I love it. This is what we need to do.
Mildly interesting point. They actually, Joey Janela and MJF in MLW, the early episodes, they actually had a feud based on MJF stealing Joey Janela's kayfabe girlfriend / manager. So about 2 years later, Joey Janela finds himself in the exact same position, except it's for real this time.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Feuding with that. Well, he wrestled MJF. His girlfriend got taken from him. There's a feud based around that. So I guess like Joey Janela's character outside of like GCW is he's just perpetually being cuckolded. He's the original Rusev.
Very nice. Wow. Did not know that.
So that promo from last week is a pretty much shoot. You know, metaphorically speaking, I've been kicked in the balls all year.
All year. There you go. I guess that makes a little bit of a difference there. Good shit, though. Good shit. They're keeping up. They're definitely keeping up with shit. And this last match is no different. They definitely kept up with a lot of storyline in this match, too. It was the number one contender match for the AEW Championship. It was Jon Moxley against Pac. Jon Moxley, they made him sell that fucking eye the whole time. Even when the bandage got ripped off, he still had the old eye bandage. Dude, I got to tell you right now, I was impressed at the fact that they kept this storyline going, and the fact that literally Moxley wrestled tonight with one eye. Let's just be honest. He wrestled, and I know it was last night. Forgive me, just whatever. One eye.
Yeah, fucking yeah.
One eye. He's a fucking pirate. Thank you, man.
Yes, fucking awesome, man. Honestly, and I only bring this up because of the relevancy with the eye gimmick. You know, he's blind in one eye.
Yep.
Not since the glory days of ECW and the Sandman blinding angle have I seen such dedication. Do you remember the blinding angle box?
I do, and I also remember Paul Heyman said he didn't the Sandman did not leave his house for 3 months, I believe it was.
Yeah, like something like that. Yeah, because he believed he wanted to sell an angle a bit much, so that way if people saw him out in the street and went, "Hey, they're doing this blinding thing," and ECW, and look, kudos. That's respect.
Oh, yeah.
I wish more guys had that level of respect. Look, it's 2020. I get it. People know the deal with wrestling, but you kind of wish that some people had at least that baseline respect for the audience to at least try to keep the illusion alive. Look, I know some people take it too seriously, and you know, I know boxers think like Bret Hart, but you kind of wish that there has to be like a healthy balance of not taking it super serious, but also having respect for the audience and your craft as a professional. To at least kind of like, you know, continuity of the storyline so people can get lost in it. Like when you watch a good movie, you don't want to constantly be reminded that this is Robert De Niro playing a character.
Right.
You want to get lost in the character that he wants you to. You want to get lost in the world that they're asking you to believe in for 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is.
Yeah, definitely. Smark, what you got?
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of, for a little bit of an older pull, the Jake the Snake Roberts Rick Martel thing, where he sprayed the perfume in his eyes.
Oh, old school.
Nice.
I remember
Also, I will say props to the Sandman because, yes, it is keeping kayfabe and like trying to help suspend disbelief. But I feel like he also talked Paul Heyman into paying him to just sit at home for a couple months, which that's also a stroke of genius.
And drink beer, also.
Bro.
Yeah, once again, I think you're giving Sandman way too much credit. Anyway, especially at that time.
Come on, Box. You know you would have signed up for that shit. Yeah. Oh, let the wife do all the shopping. I can stay home and drink. Yeah. Hey, all about the business, brother. All about the business.
Oh, I might have thought of that. I'm not sure Sandman would have. No, I'm just saying. But yeah, and we kind of gave our overall opinions at the beginning of the show on this, but I don't know, man. Like I said, really a fun show. Again, the matches really, I got to say something. The matches didn't matter. I liked the lineup of the matches, who was going against who. Didn't really matter. the crowd made made everything fun. It was a fun show. Once again, this show is still a little bit of that. It's still got a bit of that new car smell left. Someone lit a cigarette, and it's starting to go away now. But it's still got a little left. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was cool. Like I said, kudos. Like, to me, this show wasn't so much about the matches as it was about the aesthetics of the show.
Right.
Like just given like a different vibe, a different presentation to a wrestling show, and that aspect I feel like it achieved. The wrestling on the show wasn't bad, so I think that should be clear. We're not shitting on the wrestling, but I feel like the wrestling kind of like was a backdrop to the overall experience. Like, people that went on this cruise are going to come away. Yeah, we got to see great wrestling, but it was also about we got free bottles of champagne. We got to see a concert. We got to congregate with fellow fans. It's going to be more about the experience. They're going to remember more about the experience than the actual wrestling that they saw on this show. Because I guarantee you, by the time they dock, after the liquor wears off, did we watch a match last night? I guarantee they're not going to remember a fucking detail about none of this wrestling shit come tomorrow morning.
No, they're not. But they had a great time, and they made the crowd fucking great. And once again, I really think one of the greatest moments of the night was hearing the crowd sing Jericho's music back to him. Yep.
Now, we got anything else on AEW?
I don't. Smark, you got anything else on AEW?
I will say it seemed like it was kind of interesting, though, that it seemed like this week more than ever, and they always seem to do so, but even more this week, it seemed like they specifically put an emphasis on the matches. Like, every match was like 2, sometimes 3 segments. So it's kind of interesting to hear that it wasn't really about wrestling, or that the wrestling wasn't really so memorable, when like that was pretty much the whole crux of the show. Because I don't even, outside of the, amazing, unforgettable Britt Baker promo, I don't really remember there being really any other promos or interviews. Well, there was that tag, the one with Hangman, but there's like 2 interviews. There's like an interview an hour, but everything else was matches. It was a very wrestling heavy episode.
Right, and I'm not saying the matches were bad, but even if the matches were bad, it wouldn't have made a difference because the crowd just really was hot. They were for everything. They were having fun together. If you watched a few times, they were chanting back and forth, and they were close enough to where they could do it and kind of, still see each other. So it was kind of cool. It was just a very...
At one point, they started heckling another ship.
Yes, they did. Yeah. They did during the Moxley and Pac match. They did.
Yeah, and to Box's point, I feel like a good crowd can really make or break a show. Because in reviewing AEW past number of months, we've seen shows that had great wrestling on it, and the crowd died a death by match 3 or segment 3.
And drunk crowd?
But this crowd, you felt like they were invested from the time the fucking credits rolled to the bitter end. They were with everything. Everything on this show with them was a hit.
Well, they were drunk.
And to me, it added to the experience.
Yeah, it was great. It was a fun show. Obviously, can't wait to do NXT on Friday. Definitely be watching that tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
I know I got one thing that we need that I want to get into tonight. But before that, I promised you guys something, and I will not break this promise. Neither one of y'all have heard this song.
No.
Okay.
I actually have.
You have. Okay.
Is it I think it's by Jamie Kennedy. Yes,
yes it is. Jamie Kennedy and Stu Stone, Anthony. We'll play a little bit of it so you can hear it. And I will just, this will explain the whole joke. And here we go.
Bob Saget. Have you ever had one of those nights that started off so damn good? No fights, no fuss. It's understood that when you go to the bar,
man, we ain't leaving till there's girls in the car.
Well, this night started off just like that, except Jamie's in the driver's seat, Saget's in the back.
We rolling on 20s to the club, pull up front, Saget's in the back seat, rolling a blunt.
Valet opens up the door to park the car. The bouncer at the front don't wanna let us in the bar. Bob says,
here, let
Let me show him some affection.
Then he walked up, wound up, cold clock decked him.
Started screaming for the bitch to respect him. Next thing you know, we're in the VIP section.
When crew runs deep like this, you wanna brag.
Who you rolling with?
Man,
I'm rolling with Sag. Who you rolling with? Bob Saget. Numero uno. Nobody does it better. Who you rolling with? Bob Saget. The illest motherfucker
in a cardigan sweater.
Now the night's young, but everybody's getting tipsy.
Bob's in the booth with a chick from Poughkeepsie.
He's ordering the Dom Perignon, just drinking from the bottle.
Making plans to leave the club at 3 models.
That's when DMX and 50 Cent.
What do you think, Anthony?
Fantastic. That's fucking awesome. I'm not going to shit on that. That was fucking awesome. I'll be downloading that tomorrow. That was some good shit. Good shit.
Antox posted it in the chat once again. Antox, you were fucking
Shout out to
amazing. Amazing
Oh,
person, man. Glad we got
guess-
you
I
on our
guess-
team, buddy.
Oh, I guess real quick, because we didn't have a ton of news to get into tonight. I did want to get you guys' thoughts on a fun anniversary as we record this after midnight my time. So today is January 23rd, right? 2020?
Uh-huh.
We are officially 20 years removed from, my opinion, one of the best Royal Rumbles of them all. Royal Rumble 2000. I actually watched it the other day, man, and that card was stacked, man.
Wow.
First, you had the Taz debut against Kurt Angle.
Oh, the long-awaited Taz debut. Remember the old...
Yeah. And tell you what you want about, his run. Taz got a hell of a reaction that night.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Go ahead. Keep going.
You had the what else? You had the first ever official tables match under a WWF umbrella with the Hardys and the Dudleys.
Okay.
Had you had a triple threat for the IC belt with China, Jericho, and Hardcore Holly.
Wow.
This is when they were doing like I think Jericho and China were the Intercontinental Champion. They wanted to cut that shit out, and this was the deal breaker match.
And notice they didn't shove the words history down our throat 9 billion times during these shows. Please proceed.
Yes. You also had the tag titles on the line, the New Age Outlaws against APA. Yes. And,
always fighting ass.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention the Miss Royal Rumble contest on this show. Yes. You had the Cad, you had Luna, you had Ivory. Oh, Ivory.
Is this where the cat showed her kitty titties?
No, that was the month before at Armageddon. This is where we got Mae Young.
Yeah.
Yes, it was and to show you how bad this was, right? Because I actually watched this pay-per-view live, and they censored it on the pay-per-view. The live pay-per-view. Like, people paid money. They said, we care about your $30, $40, whatever it was back then. We're not going to show you this. So if you watch this on a network and you see that censor, if you thinking that people back in the day got to see them, no, we didn't.
Oh,
this was the same shit that they put on the actual pay-per-view.
Yep. And Anthony Antox over there says Ivory is his girl, and you know what you say.
Oh, I want Ivory to suck me off.
See, he's taking your girl.
Yeah, Antox. Yeah. Can we ban him?
No. I just said how amazing he was. We can't do that. No.
Can we put him in the same closet that Spencer's in?
No. Spencer's in a closet? Anyway.
We'll let him out in a couple years.
All right. Anyway.
Oh, no. But I'm building up because, man, the fucking Cactus Jack and Triple H match. To me, the match that solidified Triple H as a main event. Do you remember this match?
I don't.
Bro, go out of your way to watch that match. That to me was this match holds up incredibly well.
Okay, all right, I'll have to do that.
Incredibly fucking well.
I'll have to do that.
Was this the cage match?
Huh?
Was this the cage match?
No, this was the street fight.
Okay.
Okay.
Check that out. I've checked that out.
I remember like the Hell in the Cell one more.
Yeah, I remember this one. I just
remember it more.
No, I just remember this one because this is the match where Triple H, he had took a suplex on like this wooden pallet, and it fucked up his ankle because like a piece of wood had broke. If you remember, he was like walking funny. He was bleeding heavy from his calf muscle. And they took all kinds of crazy. This is where like I think he beat him with about 2 pedigrees on some tacks.
I remember the set. I think because it was like the little taxi cab was like hanging above the entrance area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back when they were super creative with it.
There you go.
Royal Rumble, probably one of my favorite. This was the Royal Rumble where you had Too Cool and Rikishi doing an impromptu little dance segment in the middle of the match. I mean, to me, that's easily top 5 Rumble moment. Back when they would have those little fun interludes in the Rumble.
It's good shit, pal.
And the crowd, like I said, the crowd was hot. It was 2000 was a good year. Like I in terms of pay-per-view quality, I don't think they put out a bad pay-per-view that whole year. No. I remember being very like every pay-per-view was like must-see television. And it felt like I was having a pay-per-view party every month that year.
Yeah, and WCW was just anyway. Yeah, man. Damn. Did you say 20 years since that? Wow.
Yep, 20 years exactly.
Oh.
Yeah, I couldn't be the only one feeling old. I was still in high school when I watched that shit. Now, I'm just a working schlub.
Well,
I was probably.
If it makes you feel any older, I was 9.
Oh.
So I believe I was like in elementary school.
I'm not even gonna say what I was.
Yeah, matter of fact, it was 2000. I think I was a freshman in high school. What were you, Box? Freshman in college?
I didn't go to college. What are you talking about? College?
No, I'm sorry. And the Box was probably somewhere. He was in a Corvette, fucking a hot blonde.
2000? I would have been 25 years old, dude. 25.
Well, you
never drove a vet.
Age?
Never drove a vet. I never drove a vet. I drove Porsches, Ferraris, BMWs. Never a vet. Never a vet. It's a fucking Chevy. What the fuck do I want with a Chevy?
Hey, Bob, put you over.
I know that the cell phone technology was different by then, but I still just picture you as being like one of those big old brick cell phones at that point, like a pager, just a nose full of coke.
No, never done coke actually.
Huh?
Nope, never.
Anthony?
Nah.
I'm
more of a drinker. That's always been my vice.
I'm more of a downer guy. I'm not much with the amped up shit. I'm more of a not smoke weed. I'll take a Xanax every now and then, but like upper drugs, I'm just not into them, man. Just not there. Never.
I will say that I have done it. I will say that it's fantastic, but I will say that I should never be able to believe myself that much. That's just dangerous.
Yeah, I will say, look at this nose, and I would be fucking. It'd be like house, kids, wife. No, done. No, car, job. No, I'm not doing it, dude. No.
No. I will say I was extremely fortunate because I knew going in that I couldn't afford for that to be a habit. So it was only like 4, maybe 5 times at the most. I literally just wanted to try it to know what it was like.
Yeah, never.
And then I knew what it was like, and it was real nice. But I was like, well, still can't afford to have that, so that's about it.
Nah, I look at it like this: if you're going to be a crackhead, be like Gator. Be like Gator. And I'm not sure if you get that reference, Mark, but Box, hopefully you do. You saw Jungle Fever before, right? Mama, I smoked the TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
Box, Smart, you don't even have to watch the whole movie. If you get a chance, go on YouTube and just type in Gator Jungle Fever for some of the great. Look, dude, you have not lived until you've seen Samuel L. Jackson play a very convincing crackhead.
Yes.
Probably just because he was only a few years removed from being an actual crackhead.
Exactly.
Like, I don't feel like I'm speaking out of turn.
He was researching the role. He was a method actor.
Right. No, meth. You just stop at meth. No meth actor.
And I'm not speaking out of turn because he did have a very well-known drug problem before he hit it big in the acting world. He's come out and said this as he said this himself.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. But anyway. Let's move on. We're creeping up that 3-hour mark. We're up about 2.5 right now. The one thing I wanted to get into, and I know we've been getting into this for a while, but it's not dying. This Tessa Blanchard thing.
It's not going to die.
It's not dying. You know what? I don't think any of these girls want it to die. How's that? I think they want to keep this shit out there as much as they can. Allisin Kay once again came back. Tessa Blanchard, once again, she's got to stop this fucking virtue signaling, gaslighting, whatever you want to fucking call it. She's got to stop doing it. Every time she puts out these feel-good posts, someone comes back at her. And this really has not much to do with that. This is the fact that it seems like she's trying to get dirt on Allisin Kay from people in order to try to bury her, I would assume, to take the spotlight off of Tessa's racial, I'll call them allegations, even though they've been proven many, many times over. Allisin Kay, though, Sienna, did make a tweet, said, I said what I had to say, so I'd love to move on. But I just got several messages about, at Tessa Blanchard, trying to spread lies. Unfortunately for you, I built my 11-year reputation on being respectful. Instead of owning up to your mistakes, you lie, scheme, and prove you haven't changed. That's just a little part of it there. She also said, real quick, this is one reason people don't speak up. It's also one of the reasons I felt I needed to be the one to do so. I have a thick skin. There's no dirt on me. I have a large platform and amount of colleagues who vouch for me. I'll gladly absorb this frontline and idiocy to shield my friend. So it's just not going away. And once again, Tessa needs to, if she's really out there trying to dig up dirt on Allisin Kay, sorry, Anthony, but if she's really out there trying to do that, that's, I hate to say this, but that's kind of an admission of guilt, in my opinion.
I'll be honest, Box, I'm going to go back to something you said last week. Mm-hmm. I know you said if the two people in question squashed it behind closed doors, that was enough. I kind of disagree with it from the standpoint of once this became public, you've got to address these allegations. Being accused of what she's being accused of is pretty slanderous. So instead of putting out bullshit statements, basically deflecting or trying to dig up dirt on other people, the best thing you can do in this situation is come out and admit that some foul shit went down, own up to it, and just say, you know what? I'm working every day to be better than I was the day before. Mm-hmm. I feel like you're always going to have those people that are always going to be like, almost like the Hulk Hogan syndrome. You have people that will never forgive Hulk Hogan till he will go to his grave with people hating him. Mm-hmm. Tessa's in that same boat. But I feel like if she had been showed the least bit of remorse and humility throughout this whole thing, I feel like she would have more people on her side. But the fact that you keep deflecting, and look, we don't know. We don't know the specifics of everything that happened that day, but goddamn, enough people have spoken on this issue, including the victim in question, to where you have to believe that something went down. Whether it was one time, whether it was several times, something went down that shouldn't have went down. And I feel like the best course of action is you got to address this shit. Even Impact. Now, technically, this didn't happen under their watch, so they don't necessarily have to get involved. But because they made the decision to move forward with putting the belt on her, you would think somebody from Impact would say, look, Tessa, you got to address this shit. It's causing too much of a distraction to what we're trying to do here. Because, like, the more this goes on, the more traction this gets. I mean, not that Impact care. They care about it. Whatever attention they can get, they can, I'm pretty sure they're fucking lined up to get it. But at the same time, it's like, do you really want this type of attention?
Yeah, I don't think they care what kind of attention they get as long as they're getting something. Yeah, I don't know, man. I Smart, what you got?
I mean, I really don't have too much more than I did last week. I I mean, I guess you could read that as an admission of guilt, but if I were Tessa, I would just stay off Twitter for a while.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that she's innocent. I'm just saying if she wants to move forward at all, just stay off Twitter. Because at this point, if anytime she tweets out anything, like, there's going to be people that are at least tempted to take shots at her. So if you want this shit to blow over, just stay off Twitter for a while. And, yeah, I mean, maybe I don't know if it would necessarily be a bad idea to address it in a promo or something like that at some point. But more than anything, stay off social media for a while.
Yeah, I agree with you there. So, all right, yeah, I would do the same and stop trying to dig up fucking dirt on people. Just lay low, lay low. Honestly, guys, that's all the news I got. Antox is asking us to do predictions for the NWA Hard Times show. Man, I'm looking at this thing. There's 11 matches and.
God damn! I thought there was only like 11 people on the roster.
No, there's a few more. Some of it's like the winner of this match and the winner of this match and the winner of this match. So we really only can do 8 of the matches, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm a terrible wrestling fan. I'm behind on New Japan. I'm behind on NWA Power.
All right.
But in terms of predictions, I do like the fact that they're resurrecting the television title. Based on who's involved in it, from what I remember the last time I checked it out, I think fucking Trevor Murdoch is still a player in it. Question mark, still a player in it. I'm going to say I think they're going to put it on question mark.
Oh,
I don't know who else is in there outside of those two, but I feel like this tournament is going to end with question mark as the TV champion.
Well, here you go, real quick. We got Tim Storm. The first. Here we go. Here's what I'll do. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a few matches here. There's Tim Storm versus Ken Anderson, Ricky Starks versus Matt Cross, Zicky Dice versus Dan Moff. Dan Moff? I need to.
Dan Moff is in it.
I need to get back into this motherfucker. The question mark versus Trevor Murdoch, and so out of those 8, I guess there's going to be a winner between those 8. I'm
still sticking with question mark to take it all.
I'm going with Tim Storm.
No,
Smart.
I'll go question mark too.
Wow, I'm out of there. All right. Rock and Roll Express versus James Storm and Eli Drake versus the Wild Cards. And this is for the NWA Tag Team Championship. I'm going Rock and Roll Express. Don't fuck with me.
Any particular reason, or you just holding on to hope?
Like back off, man.
Ricky Morton is holding on to that mullet.
Back off, man. Rock and Roll Express, keep that fucking title. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead. What you got?
Let me see. Who else? You said it was James Storm and Eli Drake?
Yeah, Rock and Roll Express, James Storm and Eli Drake versus the Wild Cards, Tom Latimer and Royce Isaacs.
And out of those 6, I'm going to go fucking Rock and Roll Express. I mean, Ricky Morton just challenged for the world title. They seem to still have some juice, so I'm going to go Rock and Roll Express.
There you go. R&R. Smart.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go with the Rock and Roll Express too.
All right, there we go. We got Aaron Stevens versus Scott Steiner.
Oh,
that's right. I said it, and this is for the NWA National Championship.
I'm interested in this match for all the wrong reasons.
It's definitely Scott Steiner. Definitely going to be Scott Steiner. Definitely.
Fuck, I'll go Steiner on this one too.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I'm also going to throw out the bonus prediction that it'll be absolute dog shit.
Not agree. We got the next match, which is for the NWA World Women's Championship. It's Allisin Kay, who we just talked about, versus Thunder Rosa, local Texas girl. I think Allisin Kay gonna keep that bad boy. Is this the inaugural? Allisin Kay's champion, right?
Yeah, she's been champion a while now.
Yeah, she keeps it.
And I'm gonna go Thunder Rosa, only because I think they want to give Melina's faction some credibility.
All right, there you go, smart.
I think it's going to be Thunder Rosa too, so that Allisin Kay the next day can tweet about how, unlike Tessa, she actually lets people of color win matches.
Or the opposite, and she goes total heel and calls her. Forget it.
What's Jim Cornette doing back here?
I'm not even going to go there. Rhymes with flick. Anyway, the next match and the last match on the show probably is going to be the NWA versus. This is Nick Aldis versus Flip Gordon in an NWA versus ROH inter-promotional match. Aldis, Gordon. I go Aldis. Definitely.
Aldis. It's easy for me. I'm going to go Aldis.
Yeah.
Aldis too, and who would have expected that we'd be at the point where NWA seems a lot more entertaining than Ring of Honor?
Good point. I didn't think we would be, but here we are, and that is it. Guys, I got to tell you, that's all the news I got. Now, don't forget, we got a show Friday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what else do you guys have?
I would say Rumble predictions, but probably should say those for Friday.
Yeah, we can do that Friday.
After SmackDown.
Yeah, Friday. So, do you guys have anything else we must get into, or are we wrapping up?
Any little things that can wait till Friday. Nothing major.
Oh. Okay.
Two small things.
Sure.
Apparently, I'll try to get his name right. Lance Archer. Boom, there we go. Is in talks to join AEW. I actually think that'd be a really good pickup for them.
Yep.
He's got good size, good build, good personality. He does a good job in New Japan.
Very good
one
guy.
One more, it's not news, but Renee Young posted a video of herself, Becky Lynch, Paige, and CM Punk, to which Ryback commented, 4 badass bitches, which is just a incredible sneak diss.
Wait, who was it again? It was Renee Young, CM Punk. Who else?
Renee Young, Becky Lynch, Paige, and CM Punk. He wrote 4 badass bitches, which is really just phenomenal.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is fucking beautiful.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I did actually have a small story. And I'm surprised that you didn't hear about it. Did you hear about what happened to Asuka out in Las Vegas?
No.
So she was at the site of a shooting on the Las Vegas Strip.
Oh, that's right. She just made it out of there. That is shooting. That's right.
Yeah. She was unharmed, thankfully. But
right.
Yeah. Let me see. Looking for the story real quick.
Good.
So Asuka, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Smart. You had something?
I was gonna say, how did Kayfabe News not turn this into an article about her spitting mist into the robber's eye?
That would have been epic. I'm sorry.
There's always tomorrow.
Oh, God. You see, Asuka, who will face Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's title on Sunday at the Royal Rumble, noted on Twitter tonight that she was at the Fashion Show Mall on the Las Vegas Strip this evening when the shooting happened. Local news is reporting that a fight escalated in the mall and gunfire broke out, injuring 3 people, none of whom was Asuka. The injuries were reported as being non-life-threatening. Details are still coming in. But at approximately 8 p.m. local time, the scene had been cleared, and Las Vegas Metro Police are searching for 2 suspects who fled the mall after the shooting. It should be noted that Asuka has been tweeting since the scene was cleared. You can read Asuka's tweet below. I just escaped. There was a scream in front of me at #Fashion Show Mall. It was like shooting. #gas near the shooting range protected me.
Wow. Well.
Yeah, but at least she's safe. In all sincerity.
Definitely. That on the heels of the peaceful Virginia rally that they had. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good for her. I'm glad she made it out, man.
Yeah. And the fight was probably over horse shit.
I'm sure. It always is. Always is. Especially in Vegas, probably someone owed someone money, I guarantee it. All right. So what else? Anything else?
Nothing that can't wait till Friday.
All
that was
right.
a major one I wanted to kind of squeeze in there real quick.
There was or wasn't?
Friday. No. The Oscar thing was the major one. Other stuff could wait till Friday.
Then Friday it is, man. We will definitely get to everything else Friday. Chat room. Definitely appreciate you guys joining us and helping us out during the show as usual. Anyone downloading the show, definitely 100% appreciate that. And, of course, a shout-out to Wrestling OD, the Wrestling Overdose. Check out Shaheen over there. Check out his Patreon, patreon.com/Wrestling Overdose. Check out his art at nuclearheatshop.com. Check out the Wrestling's High Marks. Check out the Inhuman Experience. Definitely check out the Philly Sports Passion because it's the only place you're going to get unscripted wrestling. Check out Stephen Milan on Letterboxd, boxd.com/Stephen Milan, 2 L's in Milan. And you guys can check us out. You can follow us on Spreaker. You can definitely subscribe to our YouTube page. You can definitely like our Facebook page, facebook.com/DirtSheetDudes. You can follow us on Twitter at DirtSheetDudes. And you can follow all this greatness that me, Anthony, and Smark bring you on Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, Player FM, and anywhere else you get podcasts from. Anthony, wrap this bitch up.
Bottom Line Pro Wrestling Podcast, available on all fine podcast platforms, Google, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, and wherever fine podcasts can be heard. Leave a 5-star review if you think we've earned it. We do. And other than that, that's all I got. We will see you Friday.
There you go. Smark, what you got?
Hey, thank everybody for listening, of course. And we will be back Friday. We're on the road to WrestleMania, everybody. Point at your signs at home.
There you go. Hop in your RVs. It's time to go to WrestleMania. Let's do it. All right, here we go. See ya.
Peace.
Hey, bartender, last call. Give one drink to all in all. We're going home. Time to take your drunken ass home. It's all right. If you don't know what to do with yourself,